Welcome to the sunny southeast of the beautiful United States. We're here in Florida, and the Stars and Stripes are flying proudly across this magnificent facility. We're at the Central Broward Park, famous for hosting plenty of international cricket. But we're here for the United States Premier League, the 2023 season of this. 7 teams representing all parts of the United States coming together across 7 days of group stage action, followed then by the critical semi-finals and final that will follow it. Top 4 teams advancing to that. Who will be the champion this year? They are the 7 teams representing every corner of the United States, all the way from the Big Apple, the New York, out towards California, the Golden Eagles. Plenty of fine cricketers on show, and an awful lot of action to enjoy across the 9 coming game days. Key spots will be the top 4. And we're here in Florida. And it's time to get down pitch side to Roshni Chasmawala and Mike Hazeman.
9 days of cricket coming forward. It really is going to be wonderful to see. It's going to be action-packed, and one thing I can guarantee is there's going to be a great deal of assignment. Right, what about the United States Premier League? What is the main objective of that? Well, that is quite simple. It's to grow the game at grassroots level and ensure cricket expands in the USA. And we all know that it's bubbling quite nicely at the moment, and this tournament will do wonders for it over the next 9 days. The event is a perfect opportunity also for individuals to perform and gain name recognition. This event has been broadcast all around the cricketing world, and if guys perform really well, we know what happens. People around the world suddenly stand up, they take notice of an individual, and a career can potentially take off. So there's a real opportunity for the individuals here to excel and change their lifestyle. Now, the team behind the USPL has the perfect blend of experience in technology and media, and they have enormous passion for the game of cricket and are well poised to develop the USPL into a global sports media property. We are going to have a lot of fun over the next week and a half.
Absolutely. As Mike mentioned, the founders of the US Premier League have done a phenomenal job to take season 2 of USPL to bigger heights. I would like to introduce the founders of USPL, Mr. Sandeep Singh and Mr. Jaydeep Singh. First, if I could have Mr. Sandeep Singh, the founder of USPL, share some words.
Well, thank you, Rajni, and thank you, Mike. That was an amazing opening. And, you know, I'm so excited to be here. And Mike said it, right? Growing this sport at a grassroots level has always been our passion, our dream. And the dream is coming true in, you know, in different phases. Last year was amazing, you know, in partnership with all the team owners and in partnership with Offbeet Media Group. I think we did an amazing job. As I said, the passion was always building it at the grassroots level, making sure that the players within US gets the opportunity to show their skills, get an opportunity to expand that skill as a profession. And that's what we are trying to do. I want to also thank, you know, US Cricket has helped us navigate through that process, and it has been an amazing guidance from them to go through that process as well. Again, thank you for everybody who is involved in it. Next 10 days will be amazing. You guys will enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.
Next, if I could have Mr. Jaydeep Singh, the founder and chairman of USPL, share some words.
Thank you, Roshni. I think this journey started last year, and what I've loved the most is the collective passion which we all have for the game. And what we are looking at for the next 10 days is to build the platform to take this property into something which merges entertainment and the game in a way USPL can get into the mainstream sporting space of the US market. I think that's the main vision we have. We will be making few announcements through the 10 days about what we're going to do as the next year is going to come. I would again, just leave it at that. The teams in India and teams in US have worked in perfect collaboration to build something which will bring this game on a global level, give a platform to our US talent to show their skills. And as Mike said, I think a lot of us from here, a lot of players from here would get into the mainstream cricketing world and build their own careers. And USPL will be always behind them to build that space. Thank you.
Well, now it's the moment we've been waiting for to introduce the 7 teams who will be fighting the next 9 days to become champion. First off, I would like to introduce the California Golden Knights, owned by Swapnil Jain, which is led by Unmukh Chand and vice-captain by Ryan Scott.
Right, Ryan, I've got a question for you. What is the most important aspect of this event from your perspective?
The growth of cricket in America.
That was short, sharp and shiny. Expand a bit for me. How do you think that can do if you look at...
Well, my team is a very inexperienced and not really that inexperienced, but a lot of youngsters that interested in the game and want to make it to the next level. So this is just an opportunity to get recognition and expand their talents to the world so everybody could get a chance to see them.
And Ryan, just finally, I mean, having young guys in that change room can be seriously exciting if the team's playing well.
For sure. I mean, playing at a certain level with a few of the guys, we have the experience that could help them to help their game as well going forward.
Yeah, very youthful squad in one of the big hubs of the game here in America on the West Coast. Keep your eyes on Ryan Scott, the captain, who made his international debut at this very ground against Ireland. Dane Peat, of course, has that South Africa Test cricket experience, and also Unmukh Chand, the former India under-19 captain.
Next, we have the Carolina Eagles, owned by Shiv Chima and led by Gajanan Singh.
Right, Skipper, how big is this opportunity to succeed as a team and also as individuals?
Firstly, I must say thanks to USPL for having us here, and as everyone here, I think we're looking forward to playing good cricket and representing the team that selected us to play.
Okay, thank you. Let's have a look at the squad now.
Well, another man who has very fond memories of this ground, Gajanan Singh, player of the match for the United States against Ireland in that win here. Yasir Mohammed, a very fine young leg spinner. And also, what about Kesrick Williams, one of the stars coming up from the Caribbean? Keep your eyes not just on his bowling, but also that notorious checkbook celebration. Will he get that out at the USPL 2023?
Next, we have from the Windy City, we have the Chicago Patriots, owned by the World of Greta and led by Angelo Pereira.
Angelo, how long have you and your squad been practicing for this year's event?
We've done zero practice, to be honest.
Now, is that a plus or a negative?
That's a positive, because we're looking forward to it, and hopefully things go well from the start.
Okay, Angelo, thanks very much. We'll have a look at your squad now.
Well, plenty of players to watch from the Windy City, particularly the two Trump brothers. Very, very good over the last 2 years in domestic cricket here in the United States, and some international experience too, the likes of Shehan Jayasuriya, Shadley Van Schalkwyk, the South African origin player, and Nitish Kumar from Canada, one of the very best on the associate circuit.
Now we have the Maryland Mavericks, owned by Sridhar Padisapu, Sharad Joshi and Haresh Lala, led by Jasdeep Singh.
Jaspreet, apart from winning the USPL, what is your team's top objective, apart from lifting that magnificent trophy?
And making the most of this as a team, leaving a mark behind and play a to sport. We have a good mixture of young players, local players, and some quality experienced players as well. So it's about brand of cricket.
Jasdeep, thank you. We'll now take a look at your squad.
Yeah, Jesse Singh, who had a pretty good ICC Men's Cricket World Cup qualifier down in Zimbabwe, certainly one to watch. But Dwayne Smith, he's evergreen. Nosh Kenjige, as good a left-arm spinner as there is here in the United States. Also, keep your eyes on Ravinder Pal Singh, who's come south of the border from Canada, a very fine batter at the top of the order.
From the Garden State, we have New Jersey Titans, owned by Suresh Bharkoti, Ravi Tampali, and Ravi Shankar Malapati, led by Harmeet Singh.
Harmeet, right, 2 questions for you. What is the strength of your team?
I think each individual, we all bring a lot to the table. I think we have a solid side, and I think everybody is a match winner on its day.
Right, now I want you to be honest. Standing here right now, what concerns you in your squad?
I would say none. I couldn't ask more from the owners regarding the balance of the other side. But I think we just have to go out there and be brave and, perform at our best.
Skipper, thanks very much. We'll now look at your squad.
Well, another man who's come to America to chase his dreams, Harmeet Singh, played in not just 1 but 2 under-19 Cricket World Cups. Aaron Jones, definitely a player to watch too, the national team vice-captain. And Saurav Netravalkar, the left-arm seamer, is one of the most economical bowlers in the world of associate cricket. I'd expect him to be maybe one of the bowlers to watch in this entire USPL.
From the Big Apple, we have the New York Cowboys, owned by Shan Gujaran, Vikas Agarwal, and Sanjeev Gupta, and led by Jala Dua.
Right, the skipper of the Cowboys. How well do you know the opposition players, and can you put plans into action throughout this event?
Yeah, we know, we have seen them playing all over the US, and yeah, we have some good experienced players. So yeah, we can take them down.
So we can look forward to various plans against various batsmen?
Yes.
Terrific. Okay, all the best. We'll now look at your squad.
Thank you.
Well, the men from the Big Apple have a lot of talent, to say the least. They really do. Christopher Barnwell, he hits it very, very hard at the top of the order. Jeremy Gordon, he's as fast as they come in the associate game. He's again come down from Canada. And Obus Pinar, the globe-trotting Obus Pinar, he's played cricket all over the world. Left arm spin and a fine batter. Incredible fielder too, maybe one of the best in the whole USPL.
Last but not the least, we have the Phillies United, owned by Himanshu Patel and led by Rakeem Cornwall.
Rakeem, you've been involved in T20 franchise cricket before in other parts of the world. How important is this event for cricket in the United States?
Well, he's a great cricketer to watch, isn't he? Rakeem, the Dream Cornwall. We're going to see if we can hear from him now. He's a man of few words. We'll let his bat do the talking throughout the tournament. Dominic Creaky has played a little bit internationally for the United States. Stephen Wigg, the left-arm seamer, definitely one to keep your eyes on. And both Calvin Savage and Justin Dill make up what is a very strong-looking pace attack for Phillies United.
If everyone can just stay where they are, straighten up their lines, we're going to take a group picture.
So all of the sides going to come together and have a group picture. Lovely to hear from both of the founders and owners of the United States Premier League. We're all set for what's going to be a marvellous competition. Plenty of smiling faces, plenty of hopes and dreams for this competition. And all 7 sides will have realistic hopes of getting their hands on this trophy. A couple of very young-looking squads as well that we've seen, but plenty of international and fine domestic experience. There's more cricket than has ever been played before in the United States. Not just the T20 World Cup coming next year, but the Olympics in 4 years' time too. Exciting stuff here in USA. So 3 games we're going to have every single game day throughout this United States Premier League 2023. That's for the group stages of this competition. 21 matches across 7 game days, and it all starts this morning slightly delayed because of a little bit of a shower. But it's going to be worth the wait. 10:45 a.m. we're going to be set to get going. The Chicago Patriots taking on Phillies United. So a little while ago, Mike Hazeman was down for the all-important toss with the 2 captains. Let's go and find out what happened.
Here we go. Game 1 of the USPL, Season 2. Now I've got the 2 skippers and the match referee alongside me. Rakeem Cornwell, of course, from the Phillies is here. Also Ryan Pereira from Chicago Patriots, and the match referee, Danny Kahn. Right, big fella, you got the coin? Where you go? Heads is the call. Tails is the winner, says Danny Kahn. Righto, Rakeem, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a ball first.
And the reason for that?
I think it's a bit of my show around. Just want to see what we have to check.
And what sort of team have you gone in with? I don't want to know individuals, but what's the balance of your team? You're playing a couple of spinners, 1 spinner, seamers?
2 spinners and 3 seamers.
Okay, now this is an important game 1. I mean, there's a lot of cricket going on. The surface is going to change a little bit as it goes on. That's going to be perfect for the teams to make changes throughout the games.
Yeah, once you come and see the surface, then you have an idea what the 11 look like.
Had you won the toss, what were you going to do?
We were going to have a ball first as well. Looked a bit of moisture on the track, but I'm all right with it.
And what about your lead into this game, this all-important game? I mean, how much work have you guys done behind the scenes?
We had a bit of preparation going in, like discussing about the balance of the team, which is going to be the main thing because it's a very short tournament. Looking forward to a good one.
And what is the balance for this game?
We're going 6 batters, 2 all-rounders, 3 fast bowlers.
Okay, no out-and-out spinner?
We do, but they're all all-rounders.
Okay, terrific. Okay, Angelo, enjoy the game and have some fun.
Thank you so much.
Okay, a couple of skippers who are confident to get going in game number 1. So the news is Phillies United have won the toss and they've elected to bowl first.
So look at the 2 starting 11s. Plenty of depth to these 2 squads in particular. You may actually make Chicago Patriots one of the favourites from the 7 sides for this tournament. The 2 Trump brothers have been in prolific form in domestic cricket with bat and ball, both all-round talents. Ali Sheikh is as good a young left-arm spinning all-rounder as you'll find on the associate circuit. And then there's the international flavour, the likes of Nitish Kumar from Canada, Shadlivan Skalkveg from South Africa originally, although he resides now in the United States, and both Shehan Jayasuriya and Angelo Pereira, and also Gayan Fernando, Sri Lankan origin. For the Phillies United, well, there's only one man that this tournament is going to be talking about, I suspect, at the end of this. It's Rakeem the Dream Cornwall, the big man from Antigua. He's softly spoken, a bit of a gentle giant, but he is such a talent. Saad Ali has international experience for Pakistan, and it's a very, very fine seam bowling lineup with the likes of Justin Dill and Calvin Savage in particular. Keep your eyes on them. Savage with the bat too. So it's been a slightly delayed start because of a little bit of just a sprinkling. I wouldn't call it any more than that this morning. We've actually been experiencing a heat wave here in Florida on the southeast coast. It's the most beautiful part of the world if you've never been here. We're in Broward County, which is about 10 minutes outside of the downtown city of Fort Lauderdale, and not too far from those beautiful beaches in Miami as well. Andrew Leonard here with you. I'm delighted to be joined. He sprinted straight up after the toss to come and sit with me. Mike Hazeman. Mike, firstly, great to be with you. Very good morning to you.
Andrew, thanks very much, and nice to be with you too. I'm really looking forward to this. I think this is going to be a terrific start to this tournament. There's Mark Dial, left-handed batsman. He's one of those guys who likes to get after the bowling, so it's going to be interesting to watch. I think personally the surface is going to be pretty good. We will get a couple of shots of this pitch where you'll see it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, and when you see a sheen on the surface here in Lauderhill, you know it's going to come on pretty well to the bat. And yes, it's going to be perhaps a little bit of time to just get used to the pace. It won't be ultra quick, Nitish Kumar is very experienced. 35 games, a strike rate of 122. But the surface will be good, and I think the players are going to enjoy this. Here we go, first game.
And Justin Dill will take the new ball. And we're going to have the first runs of the 2023 edition of the USPL. Comes a bit off the outside edge. And it runs down for a single. Nitish Kumar is a fine cricketer, isn't he? And so too is this man, Justin Dill. Played a lot of cricket back in his native South Africa, but like so many over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, there's been a proliferation of not just South Africans, Sri Lankans, Pakistanis, Indians coming here to the United States to really make a second home and chase their dreams.
That's exactly right, and the thing about the South Africans, just about all of them, when you see them come to places like the US and play their cricket, they're tall, and they're normally quick bowlers who can hit the ball a long way. So generally there's some talent in the guys that are arriving, so that's good news, and is only good for the game and good for this event.
The South African cricketers, fast bowlers in particular, they tend to have grown up on those harder wickets down there. It's something you know an awful lot about. They'll tend to be good at hitting the deck like Dill does here.
And if there's anything in the surface, they will find it, like that delivery. That was a perfect delivery. Just a little bit of movement away. He certainly enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a tricky one to get quite early in the innings. So it's just telling us there will be a little bit of movement in the surface. The build-up, by the way, for the groundsman, for Milton and his team, was that it's been pretty good. The weather, as Andrew was saying, it's been fairly warm. So they did have to put some extra water into the surface. So there's no doubt there's going to be just a little bit of extra movement at the start. But it won't last for long. Remember, there's going to be 3 games played today. There's 2 pitches that are going to be used over the next 9 days.
Quick single going to be dashed and dashed through. Yeah, it tends to be high scoring here, particularly the internationals that have been played here. The average first innings score 166, and there's a bit of a disparity with those who bat first. They tend to win more often. So did that surprise you to see that they've decided to win the toss and bowl first?
I think maybe it's got a bit to do with the surface, because there will be some movement, as we've seen already, but also it's an opportunity to get into the game, into the tournament, with the ball in hand.
Oh, very nicely picked up, and picked up with real style and some aggression. Maybe not out of the middle of the bat, but I think this could well have gone all the way. And so too does the umpire agree. The arms are elevated. It's the first maximum, and the first of many, Mike, I can assure you.
You've got to love it. It is the first of many. You're dead right. It is a high-scoring ground. Once the batsmen do get in, they'll be able to play some shots and play them quite easily. Plenty of time to play that shot, actually, which shows us that it just sat up in general to be put away 4-6. But you've got to make sure you hit the middle of that bat to travel that distance. But it's a high-scoring venue, this one.
Kumar, in terms of North American talent, home-produced North American talent, is as good as they come. He's played his international career, his international cricket, north of the border for Canada. But for the last 2 years, maybe 2.5 seasons now, he's actually been residing down in Texas, playing in a lot of the domestic competitions here in the United States. The fascinating thing for me, in 7 or 8 months' time, when that T20 World Cup comes here to the United States and the West Indies, will be, does he go back to his native Canada? The fact that they qualified, they got past Bermuda there in Hamilton about 6 weeks ago. Will that be a big draw card to go for what's not just going to be the biggest T20 World Cup of all time with 20 teams, but maybe one of the very best?
I can feel a magnet already. I mean, representing your home country is pretty special. So we'll have to wait and see what does happen. But he's a fine player. I've seen him for many years. I saw him play a lot in Canada in the early days.
With shots like that, shots of real class and panache from Kumar. It's a boundary to close out the first over. The Patriots get off to a flying start. It's 12 for none.
Waited. Plenty of time. Rocked on that back foot and put it away for a boundary.
Well, a flying start from the Patriots, and this is a shot of real class.
Perfect balance, absolutely perfect, and hitting in front of square. For any youngster watching this on a track that's a little bit slow and you do have more time, it's so important to make sure you hit in front of square on the offside, and that's exactly what he did. Another South African, Calvin Savage.
Yeah, huge number of players. I think the final count's probably 50 or 60, something like that, have come across really in an exodus of first class and international cricketers who really started to build the base of American cricket. There's almost shades of what happened with Major League Soccer, wasn't there, sort of 20, 30, 40 years ago. A lot of experienced cricketers now coming to ply their trade, and you look at the T20 World Cup next year and Olympics to come in 4 years' time, somewhere that's close to your home, Mike.
There's so much to look forward to. Yeah, I come from Los Angeles these days, been living there for 17 years, so yeah, the Olympics is not too far away. There's lots of talk about that already in Los Angeles. That's going to be an extremely exciting event, and particularly so with cricket being involved as well. Very precise with his field placings, Calvin Savage. He's got a, we're going to call that a short fine leg almost.
Nicely driven down the ground, but a good diving stop. Excellent effort at mid-on. Gets the body on the line and cuts it off. 3-run save there for me.
Yeah, that's great work. Such an important part of the game. T20 cricket, you've got to make sure you support your bowlers, support the captain. And that sort of work, as Andrew quite correctly said, saved a boundary, does enormous things for the bowler. Got a very high arm action, Calvin Savage. No extreme pace at the moment. He's just concentrating on his line and length at this stage. That's just about perfect. Can't do too much with that.
You talk about that Olympics to come in 4 years' time. Let's talk about our two standing umpires first. Great to see not just homegrown talent on the pitch in terms of players, but also the umpires. That's Rowan McFarlane, who's currently at square leg, and a great story standing at the far end of the ground. That's Brian Kane, come through the USA Cricket system. A little bit of a top edge. Now, where's this one gone? It's gone for runs. Should be a couple. You talk about the importance of developing players in any country. That's Rowan McFarlane, but then standing at the other end, Brian Kane, a homegrown American who's learnt his cricket here domestically, and one to watch for the future, certainly there.
Got excited about cricket, reading about it. That's what excited him about the game. He spent volumes, he told me one day, of this in a library just reading about the game of cricket.
Slashed away, and it's going to be slashed away for 4. Maybe not in full control. It got a little bit big in him, didn't it? Maybe an effort ball from Calvin Savage, but Kumar off to a flyer. Patriots taking advantage of the power play.
Outstanding shot. Absolutely perfect. Doesn't mind going airborne in that region back of the square because it zips away pretty quickly. They've got a pretty good start here at the moment. 1 ball shy of 2 overs and 19 on the board.
Already a few indications that maybe there are plenty of runs in this track. The end of the second, it's 19 for none. Beautiful scenes provided by our drone. That is downtown Fort Lauderdale there in the distance. We're in Broward County. About a 15 to 20 minute drive across there to the coast, where you get all of the beautiful beaches that spread the entire eastern seaboard, the Atlantic Ocean then, with what is seasonably warm weather, warmer than usual in November. And that's a poor delivery, I have to say, and it's been helped away by Dale. The second maximum of the day goes to the left-hander. That is just where every left-hander loves it, onto his hip. Fine leg up in the circle, 6 from the moment it left the bat.
But that's exactly where you wouldn't want to bowl, with the field placings you do have. You dream of that sort of delivery. As a top-order batsman, when it's coming onto the bat reasonably well, yes, it's stopping a fraction, but it's the hard ball, so it's going to hit that bat and travel some distance. But nicely put away. Boundaries are flowing.
Gone, the first wicket of the United States Premier League 2023. And it's a case of 6 and out for Dale. Maybe not the greatest shot, but a good change of line from Justin Dill has brought about the reward, and Dale, he has to go.
Adjusting the line after that previous delivery was dispatched quite easily. And it's a nice sharp catch in the covers. Certainly driving on the up. That was the problem, I feel. The transfer of the weight wasn't quite where it should have been. But it is T20 cricket. You've got to understand that that sort of thing happens from time to time. Sonny Patel's the man that took that grab in the cover region, but they'll be delighted to see that they have broken that stand. Dale goes for 8 runs, 25 for 1.
And that was the fall of the first wicket by Mark Diaz.
Shehan Jayasuriya often opens the batting, but they're using him at 1 drop today. Chicago Patriots, nice little flurry to start with, but wickets in the power play are always worth their weight in gold for the bowling side, and that will fill Rakeem Cornwall with a little bit of relief as much as anything, because remember, he won the toss this morning. Always a bit of pressure on any captain on the first day of any tournament. As the sun comes out, and Jayasuriya loves to play his shots. A little bit of pace on offer this time from Dill, well bowled.
Yeah, a little bit of extra zip behind it. Amazing what a wicket does to a bowler. Easily taken. Quite correctly disappointed, because he looked like he was playing pretty well.
One of the cutters from Justin Dill, maybe the leg cutter rolled out of the side of the hand, given as a wide.
First time we've seen a little bit of variation from the hand from the bowlers, which is something we'll see as this tournament goes on as well, because the track's being used for 3 games a day. There's going to be some wear and tear on these pitches. Groundsman is not concerned about it at all. He says the tracks are going to be fine, they'll hold up okay, but it will bring spin into the game and a bit of change of pace.
Inside edge, real fortune. He's going to get 4. Not where Jayasuriya intended it. Dill can't quite believe it. It runs away to the boundary to get Jayasuriya off the mark.
Unlucky. Line and length is perfect to the left-hander after picking up that wicket earlier. Dragged it from some distance. It wasn't that far away from that off stump, as he knows.
He steered down to 3rd for a single. 3 games every day, as you said there, Mike, throughout the group stages. 10 a.m. start if we don't have any rain. We did have a bit of rain this morning. So this game will always be played in full daylight. In the second game, the floodlights will start to kick in towards the end of the second innings. And then the third and final match will be a fully floodlit affair. Each of the sides, the 7 teams, are going to have to deal with those changing conditions each match.
Which I think is great, I really do. And it's important that the squads have been picked along those lines as well. We've got to make sure that everyone has got a part to play when the track does do something a little bit different. So there's going to be some extra spinners around the place which will come into the game, particularly, I guess, in the mid-afternoon games, probably from tomorrow. I guess this track's going to be used again tomorrow as well.
Possibly another leg cutter this time from Dill, just losing his radar down the leg side. About 5:30 p.m. the sunset is here, local time, so that it'll be in the second innings that those floodlights will start to kick in. That middle game in particular is going to be fascinating each day.
It will be. And the weather we had this morning is unusual at this time of the year in Florida. I used to live in Miami Beach for a couple of years, and generally in November it's just nice to play. Slow delivery. Eventually got that over through. 3 overs gone, 33 for 1.
There's the 2 playing 11s for this opening fixture of the United States Premier League 2023. Delighted to get into action. We have got plenty of it over the course of the 7 days of the group stages, in particular 3 games a day, every day from Monday to Sunday this week. Those 21 matches will then decide the top 4 teams, Mike, that will advance to the semi-finals. 2 semi-finals on Monday, and it will then be a terrific Tuesday for the grand finale.
Which is going to be at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that final.
Direct hit, but umpire not interested in going upstairs. We do have the third umpire for line decisions. He is going to go up and just double check. You can understand that from Brian Kane. So for runouts and for stumpings, we will have the facility to go up to our third umpire. Also for boundary checks and for close decisions like that. Our third umpire, I think, is Robert Foster for this morning's game. Looked as though he got back to me, Mike.
There's Brian letting us know that he wants a second look. It's always better to be safe than sorry, I feel, in these sort of situations, if the umpire's got any doubt in his mind.
It's always an early test, isn't it, for the technology? The first one. I think he's got home safely. He has. And like you said, maybe not a bad thing, just to test out that all the systems are working. We'll see not out come up on the big screen in a moment.
No problem whatsoever. One thing that's going to be really important about these games, the 3 games a day, not out, there's confirmation of what we're talking about, is that the umpires have got to control the tempo, the pace of the games. We can't afford to have games going over the 4-hour mark or 3.5-hour mark. We've got to make sure everything's nice and snappy.
Whipped into the leg side again with real style. He's lovely to watch, Nitish Kumar. Yes, since the advent of franchise cricket, our sport has got into a little bit of a bad habit, hasn't it, of extending what was originally supposed to be a 3-hour game, done and dusted, completely, up towards 3.5, and sometimes rather ludicrously more than 4 hours. Why is that? It's the number of field changes, the number of strategical decisions that are being made?
I think also it's perhaps the umpires not controlling things as well as they should. I think maybe the captains have got to be responsible as well. Captains have got to make sure that they've got things zipping in the field, and particularly when the opening ball. I mean, this has actually been quite slow, the start of this game, so I would suggest they're overtime at this stage. But initially it was 1 hour 25, wasn't it, for an innings, and for some reason that's been lost.
I think a pretty good move what they've done with the fielding penalties, in terms of if you are slow, whether that be at the end of the 17th, 18th or 19th over, you get the penalty of an extra man into the circle. I've seen a few of the leagues experiment, CPL bringing in the red card and losing a player entirely. What about a 5-run penalty? That's another option.
Yeah, that's something that's been talked about as well, and also points. That's something that's used, I think, in one of the T20 tournaments. But there's got to be something that hurts the teams. I mean, yes, I understand you lose a player in the outfield. You've got to have lose a player outside the circle in the death overs. Nicely worked down that vacant region, and that's gone for 4 quite comfortably. Again, just running that off the blade. Good control.
I suspect there's a few fans up in Canada wondering what might be next June already. We're only game day 1 here, the 2023 US Premier League, but Nitish Kumar, as he so often does, is showing his class. Mike, I cover an awful lot of associate cricket. I can guarantee you Nitish Kumar is one of the very best that have ever come through the associate circles. And for him to maybe have a chance to play in what would be a first ever T20 World Cup for Canada next year, it's going to be a pull that, an overwhelming pull.
It'll be an extraordinary opportunity for him, that's for sure. He is such an organised player. That's what I like about him. I've seen him score some really big runs in Canada in years gone by.
You look at that development to a 20-team T20 World Cup after an era of world events being restricted, less teams playing at them. Everything from 2024 to 2031 in the ICC structures is going to expand. It's not just the fact it's going to 20 teams next year that excites me personally. Not the greatest piece of keeping will be given as a wide and an extra to go with it, 2 wides to the total. It's a 20-team World Cup that is an open draw. The preliminary stages, the group stages are gone, and that 20-team World Cup will have 4 groups of 5. So USA as a co-host alongside the West Indies will see T20 World Cup games at this very ground. Canada is the America's regional qualifier. They could play against Australia, India, South Africa, England. How exciting is that for North American cricket?
I was going to say, how good is that? I know I was involved in some discussions going back probably 7 or 8 years ago, and at that stage there was talk about following a path of the soccer, and you mentioned that before.
Agricultural from Jai Surya, but gets away with it, gets a single. But that can only be a good thing. Expanding the game and events like this, the US Premier League, are helping to broaden that base within the United States.
At grassroots level, that's such an important thing to get some buzz going and to increase the attention, the interest of cricket throughout the US. But I mean, that is going to be amazing. And US soccer took a lovely path when they went to the Olympics. And that's done wonders for the game. And now, with the women involved as well, with the kids involved at school, both girls and boys, it's quite extraordinary what's happened to soccer.
2 wide again outside the off stump. As the radar has just gone a little errant in this over from Calvin Savage. You just got a quick look at Bert Cockley on your screen there, involved with the Chicago Patriots backroom team. He's been an S&C coach for the USA national side. It's not just the players that have come over. There's been coaches, umpires that we've already touched upon. The base of American cricket has never been broader, and what people may not realize watching this broadcast maybe back in India, more than 200,000 cricketers playing cricket here every week. There's a huge amount of domestic cricket that goes on across hubs in New York, Florida, California, Texas. The game is growing really rapidly as they scamper home for a quick single. Good over again for the Patriots. They're in cruise control, 44 for 1. There's the 7 teams that make up those battling out for the crown of the United States Premier League champion for 2023, right the way across the country, from the Big Apple up in New York all the way across to California. The West Coast is one of those real hubs of the game here in the United States, not just in Los Angeles, but San Francisco in particular, all the way up to Seattle too.
Exactly right, and that's growing really nicely, which is great to see. There's a lot of South Asians coming over, and of course they're working hard in the western part of the states. Change of bowling now. And 4 runs off the blade. Nicely controlled, down the ground. Good stuff.
Well, this shot's going to take your breath away as you see it on the replay. It looked initially like a punch for one, didn't it? But such is the timing and the quality. You talk about the on drive as a shot. This is almost the perfect example.
A newish ball coming onto the bat on that occasion and just really pushed down the ground. I mean, that's basically what it was. But yeah, it's all about timing, and Kumar's a fine player.
Well, he's looking in quite sensational form already. I know it's only 15 deliveries into his innings, but everything's coming out of the middle of the bat. Yeah, huge number of people have come across from the subcontinent, India, Pakistan. There's always been kind of a lot of what you would describe as somewhat recreational cricket right the way across. I believe it's all 50 of the states, actually. Maybe with the exception of Alaska, not sure there's too much up there. Maybe the 48 lower states there's cricket in, but it's not just recreational now, there's serious facilities building up.
And just to touch on that, I mean, that one area of concerns over the years is the lack of facilities, but that's starting to change. Various plans afoot to get some grounds built in some areas. There's certainly one in Carolina, there's certainly one in Texas. Talk of one in Los Angeles, which is going to be involved with as well. But it's just wonderful generally just to hear the buzz about cricket and the facilities, the improvement of the game, and realising how important that is.
Nicely placed, finds that gap beautifully. It's a pretty tight gap too between backward point and cover point, and look at the way he opens the blade here. International class from Jayasuriya, 4 more.
Left-handed top-order batsmen love playing square the wicket, particularly those that come from Sri Lanka. That is just a wonderful shot. I think over the years we've seen so many players from Sri Lanka play that shot.
More runs into the offside. A good test for the outfield too. It might not have the pace to get all the way for 4. It is a multi-use facility here. You occasionally see some football played. There's a football academy here, but over the next 8 months it's really all about cricket building up to the World Cup, and great plans afoot to get expanded capacity in for, this will be one of the 3 host venues for that T20 World Cup alongside New York and then Texas. There you can see a few of the football grounds that surround, but that's being used as cricket warm-up facilities right now. Such exciting times for cricket in the United States. Will be given as a wide, still 1 delivery remains. The Patriots off to a flying start.
They are, and for the first time I've heard some encouragement out there from the captain, making sure that these guys get things on track, and I think Rakeem wants to get a little bit of buzz about things. He realises they've gone a little bit flat at the moment, and they do need to step it up.
Innovation. Well, Joe Root, eat your heart out. We saw him get nutmegged in the World Cup, but Jayasuriya says he can go 1 step better. It's the scoop, the ramp, whatever you want to call it. The score after 5, 60 for 1.
Jayasuriya's dentist just stood up a little bit watching this telecast. Again, it's something we've seen some of the guys, the earlier guys in Sri Lanka play that sort of shot and play it so well, but it's remarkable how the guys, they practice this a lot.
Well, the captain not pleased, is he, with where things are going for his side, so he's going to take the ball into his own hands. An iconic cricketer, this man, from the island of Antigua. The ball is off breaks ever so effectively, particularly in Test cricket. Actually, he's seen as a bowler who bats a bit in the longer form, the red ball game, but in T20 game, more of a batter who bowls. Very economical action, short run up.
Extremely short. Doesn't waste too much energy. There we go.
Tends to be mighty effective. Don't know if we can get another look at that scoop or that ramp from Jayasuriya. Extraordinary stroke to close out the 5th over.
I think when we see some of these players play those improvised shots, you've got to remember how much they practice them these days. In the old days, I remember it used to be the reverse sweep that guys used to get out. But now we're all over the show with the innovation of various shots to get runs, and that's good for the game.
Yeah, great cricketer to watch, Rakeem Cornwall. Canny with the ball.
It's a nice guy too, Rakeem. He's someone who doesn't say a hell of a lot. There's that shot, by the way, that we were talking about from Jayasuriya. That is extraordinary.
Extraordinary. It's the exact same way in which Joe Root plays the shot. He almost opens up in a French cricket style to expose the front of his entire body. And what that allows is access to the ramp on the off or the leg side.
Tilakratne-Dilshan was the first, I think, to ever play what was then termed the Dill scoop. I remember doing an interview with Tilakratne-Dilshan at one stage, and I asked him about that shot, and he says that every single time, this is when he was playing Test cricket or one-day international cricket on those days for Sri Lanka, he said every single time he played the shot, or got set to play the shot, he was 100% confident he was going to hit it well. There's a wicket. Rakeem, the skipper, into the game, and suddenly picks up a stick. So that's good work from the captain. Gomel was the man that took the catch, was in the air for a long time. The batsman, Jayasuriya, knew straight away he was in big trouble.
Well, just as we're talking about the positions he gets into playing the scoop, he gets himself in a horrible tangle. I think he's trying to go over the mid-on region because mid-on's up in the circle. But a little bit of drift and maybe a bit of sticking in the surface has brought about a leading edge, and Rakeem, the dream, he strikes and strikes back for Phillies United. Jayasuriya's gone for 18. It's 63 for 2. Definite Sri Lankan flavour to the Patriots, isn't there? Angelo Pereira will come in at number 4. They'll be happy with the number of runs in that power play, 63 in total. The captain will be very pleased with that, particularly with the way Nitish Kumar has been striking the ball. Less pleased by losing the second wicket. That is the power play signalled. We now, as we're playing with all standardised T20 regulations, there'll be 5 fielders allowed outside the 30-yard circle, 2 on the offside, you see them there. Deep extra and long off. And then on the leg side, we've got this pretty conventional field for any spinner at this point. Long on, deep mid-wicket, and looks like a deep backwards square to me as we see a change in bowling again, and it's going to be Sunny Patel to come into the attack.
Now, I think here's an opportunity to really buzz in this field to make things happen. Not waste any time, get straight into this. You've just picked up a wicket, the skipper's just picked up a stick, and that's really important to break that partnership. But I think, yes, it's a new bowler and he wants to get nice and set, but they're taking far too long getting organised for the start of this over.
Come boys, wicket here boys.
I'm sure they're going to lose a fielder from the circle. Leg spin as we go into this game because they're so slow at the moment unless the spinners can do a job and play catch up.
We're going to need a little bit of Ravindra Jadeja out there, aren't we? Darting through his overs.
I don't like the ground staff getting active. These guys have been here a long time, 7 years. Norton's been here. He's been a grounds. There's the man in the blue shirt there in the middle. He's been a groundsman, head groundsman around the world in various venues, mainly in Jamaica for 40 years. So he certainly knows what he's doing, and he's done a wonderful job here. But they're good weather watchers.
A great community here in Florida from the Caribbean. So many have come up often economically, come up for work opportunities in Miami and Fort Lauderdale all the way up to Orlando. Shivnarayan Chandrapal lives here in Florida, as does his son Tajnarayan, who's also gone on to follow in his father's footsteps. There's a nice flavour, plenty of good Caribbean restaurants around here too.
There are indeed. I'll tell you another one who, Ian Chappell, who is a very good mate of mine and someone I respected enormously and had the opportunity to train with, not play with. I'm not quite that old. Sorry, Ian, if you're listening. But Lawrence Rowe. Ian rates him as the best player he's seen, or certainly in the top 3. And he's living in Florida.
If I remember correctly, I think he was one of the guests of honour at that first ever series that the United States hosted at this ground against a test nation. That was USA Ireland a couple of Christmases ago. It got a little bit abridged by the pandemic, sadly. USA were impressive there. They won one of the games. They probably should have won the series 2-0, the T20 series. The ODIs sadly got canned, but Rowe was here, saw it in person.
He generally loves coming to the cricket. 200s on debut. The West Indies, of course, 2 magnificent hundreds apparently. 7 overs gone, 66 for 2.
State of play thus far for the Patriots. I think they're on top. Look like a very good outfit. Keep an eye on the 2 Trump brothers. We expect them in next. South African origin, living up in the Midwest. Prolific, and I mean prolific, in domestic cricket over the last 18 to 24 months. Bat and ball. We're going to have a change in bowling. The captain, having done his job of having got the wicket of Shehan Jayasuriya, we're going to see the left arm spinner come into the attack now. Chintan Patel. We're going to change in the commentary box. I'll stay with you. Delighted to have Aryan Singh join me, not just going to join us in commentary a bit, but also playing in this competition. Aryan, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you for the introduction.
Great to have you with us. Do just have a little bit of news to report. Mike Haseman sadly called it in, didn't he? There is now a reasonably steady drizzle coming across the ground. The ground staff are just hovering. It's kind of strange though, because there's blue sky all around. For the moment, Brian Kane is happy to let it go. Aryan, exciting tournament, isn't it? 21 games, 3 games a day. You must be pumped up.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great tournament. Great to be back. This time being in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, playing in one of the greatest stadiums here in the United States.
You play a lot of cricket domestically here in the United States. I know you were listening to me and Mike there. The game really is making progress here.
For sure, for sure. I'm looking at the youth. There has been so many more under 19 and under 21 players playing in these types of tournaments. So it's great to see that the game is evolving and more youths are coming in.
Beautifully played. Really beautifully played. He's only going to get a single, but inside out over extra cover. Yeah, and speaking of youth, that American under-19 side, they finally have got back to the promised land. They'll go to an under-19 World Cup in January.
That was great to see that. It's great to see going back to a World Cup after almost 10 years.
Gonna think of a second here, but not going to be able to take it on. And the T20 World Cup around the corner. You'll probably be watching on a lot of that here. How exciting is that?
Very, very exciting to see players from back home as well playing in one of the biggest tournaments.
I think there's a ball to go. The umpire is just having a little discussion about it. I think there is one to go. So we're gonna get this one rounded out. The 7 teams that have come together, plenty of cricketers you know. Who do you think is the favourite of those 7?
I'm not going to comment on that. I think we'll have to look at how the cricket plays out.
There are 2 very fine sides here. I think the Chicago Patriots definitely in the mix. He'll obviously be representing the Carolina side. And lovely to see the 7 sides have come across from all parts of the United States. There really is cricket at every corner of the United States these days. Again goes inside out over extra. That is quality. Cricket of the highest class from Nitish Kumar, who's looked $1 million thus far. End of the 8th, it's 74 for 2. Bowls him straight through. It's a lack of turn from Sunny Patel. It's what he does. He's got that Anil Kumble style. And Pereira never really looks settled at the crease. The Patriots have lost their 3rd.
Look shocked there, Angelo Pereira. Like a student that thought he passed this test, but instead failed it. Goes for a big sweep. A little bit of turn, a hint of turn there. Could have been the googly. And look at that celebration.
I think you're right. I think it was the googly. I think out of the back of the hand. He's not a big turn of the ball with his leg break, but he's accounted for the Patriots captain. Pereira's gone for 3. It's 74 for 3. Joshua Trump, one of the 2 Trump brothers in this Patriots lineup. He's come out to the crease after beautiful piece of wrist spin bowling from Sunny Patel has accounted for Angelo Pereira, the captain of the Patriots, who just got themselves in a muddle. Nitish Kumar looks like he's batting on another planet out there. And a few moments of concern for the ground staff and the umpires. There's reasonably heavy rain coming across the ground, but there's enough blue sky for the umpires to be happy for them to play through it. Ariane, you talk about the importance of wrist spin in T20 cricket. That was a very clever piece of bowling.
Yeah, it was a beauty. Simply pitched it out the right line. Hint of turn. Not much that Pereira could have done about it, as you could see. Yeah, tried to go for a big slog sweep, a hint of turn. Just a beauty, hitting the top of off stump.
I don't think he's picked it, being honest. I think he's been deceived. And because of the way in which Sunny Patel bowls his leg breaks, the googly isn't an easy one to pick. It's really just the wrist position. There isn't any dipping of the front shoulder, which is usually an indication from a wrist spinner that the googly is coming out. It's just that wrist changing its point of release from a leg break that's coming quite out of the front of the hand to the googly that's coming out of the back. High quality bowling. They'll dash back for the second. Oh, direct hit would have been gone. Trump got himself in trouble. Kumar wanted the strike, but Trump nearly paid the price.
I reckon he tried that one again, Andrew. I think he went for the googly one more time. Just got a little bit of an inside edge to get to. Yeah, you can see here just a slight inside edge. Runs the first one hard. A good foundation of cricket here from the Chicago Patriots.
Hoping that that shower just passes by us. It's strange because there's so much blue sky in and around the ground. I think for me a direct hit was definitely gone. Oh yes.
Gone from a mile if it had hit. Hard luck for the Phillies United team.
Kumar happy to take the single. Huge amount of cricket played across the country now. A lot of boys are coming up who are learning all of their cricket in the United States, which is unlike maybe 20, 30 years ago.
Well, it's great to see that, Andrew. It's great to see the game evolving in the country. I think 5 years ago, we wouldn't have seen as many youths playing.
Yeah, amen to that. Hopefully it's going to keep continuing to grow. Who knows, they could be the next powerhouse of the associate game. 9 have been bowled. The Patriots are 80 for 3. Good foundation for the Patriots. They'll be thinking of pressing up towards that average first innings winning score in T20 cricket here at this ground. It's 181. Sadly, the two umpires are just understandably thinking that this might be a little bit too heavy to continue. You can see our beauty cam has got a lot of water on it. The ground staff are standing by, and I think probably the right call. They're going to say we'll just have to have what I think will be a short break in play. I don't think this is going to be long because there's so much blue sky around the ground. This wasn't forecast either. We pretty poor forecasts, didn't we, for I think parts of Tuesday and maybe a thunderstorm or two. But today was supposed to be set fair. Are we going to blame the Irishman for coming in? We bring rain everywhere we go, Aryan.
Yeah, it's unfortunate to see a stop of play, but hopefully it's short like we said.
Little story for you from the T20 World Cup qualifier more than a decade ago, back in 2011 in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is an average of a day and a half's rain per year. Ireland were due to play Italy in a game there in Abu Dhabi. Entire match abandoned without a ball bowled due to torrential rain. So I think maybe this one's on me. You bring an Irishman in and all of a sudden the rain follows us everywhere somehow.
So far looking good for both sides. Not really a clear favorite.
Yeah, who would you say would be the happier of the two teams after those first 9 overs? Certainly winning the toss, choosing to bowl first. You want early wickets.
Well, it's hard to tell. 80 for 3. Score's looking good, but 3 wickets down within 9 overs, and that to your top 3, your skipper included.
Going to take a look at the best of this first innings. I really think it's going to be a very short delay. We will hopefully be able to actually stay with you. But it's really all been about one man. Nitish Kumar started with a maximum. That was the first boundary. Has capitalised powerfully on any width. There was a maximum 2 for Dayal before he was caught. Cover, bit of fortune, and then innovation. You've got to love to see that in the T20 game. Before Rakeem outthought the left-hander. He pulled out down to long off. Nitish Kumar, he's a class act, and even though that was the 3rd wicket to fall, he's held firm for the Patriots.
Well, for the Patriots, it's been about Nitish Kumar the entire day. Same thing that coaches have taught us. A bit of width, you punish it. A bit full, you drive it. He's not let anything go away, and he's batting beautifully.
Yeah, liquid's being taken on. I think the good news is that there's enough blue sky for us to maybe not even have a major break in play. There is Kumar striking at 153. Anything over 130 up at the top of the order you'd be pretty pleased with. He's a man who's played internationally for Canada. We were talking about that T20 World Cup that's coming up next year? Do you expect him to maybe turn out in the red of Canada?
Well, the way he's batting, I hope he's not. I remember reading something about how Nitish Kumar was 16 during the 2011 World Cup, and he played a couple of games, opened the innings. It was pretty impressive to see that a man at that age can play a World Cup and open the innings. We're seeing the class right here, right now.
And he's looking better than ever. You talk about your prime years as a batter, maybe 28 to 32. He's just entering that phase now, isn't he? 3 wickets have fallen. Spinners have been certainly more economical than the seamers. I just wonder, is that a trend that's going to follow throughout the tournament? And the 3 wickets have fallen at reasonably wide intervals. Let's take a look at the 3 of them. The first one, probably not the greatest shot.
Yeah, with on offer there, I think some pace off. Just hit straight to the man at, I want to say, a bit wide of covers. You can see Dale here, yeah, a little bit of pace off. Might have been a cutter, and Dale just a full swing of the bat straight to the man at covers. Easy catch.
Second wicket to fall. I know Jayasuriya is going to be disappointed with himself. It was actually very clever bowling by Rakeen Cornwall.
Yeah, just set the trap there. Rack attack. A little bit of flight, had him in on the boundary. And yeah, he knew it the minute that went straight up in the air that his innings is gone. He's going to have to wait till tomorrow.
There's that little bit of drift, wasn't it, across the left-hander. And then very selfless captaincy from Cornwall in terms of saying, I've got the left-hander, now I'm going to take myself out of the attack, get the wrist spinner in. And Sunny Patel, oh, there's shades of Anil Kumble there. A googly for the ages.
Ball of the day for me so far. Again, just a hint of turn. Did not pick that at all. Angelo Pera going for a big heave onto the onside.
It's the art of deception, that of wrist spin. As we see the ground staff having got the covers on, well, they whipped them straight back off. And that's good news. Not great news for our schedule today in terms of the constant little delays that are just niggling at us. I think we'll have enough leeway to still keep this at a full 20 over match, and the ground staff are happy to get the stumps back into the ground. Tell us a bit more about the 7 teams that have come together. We've got 3 games every day during the group stages, and all eyes for those 7 teams will be finishing in the top 4, getting to the semi-finals.
Well, the way that I look at it is, on paper, all teams are balanced. It's good amount of experience and good amount of youth. So this tournament is one which I feel like anyone can come up on top. The greatest point of the T20 format is that even the underdog can win. I mean, look at the T20 World Cup.
What about your own squad? You'll be playing with the Carolina Eagles, Aryan, and you're coming up against the Maryland Mavericks. That'll be match number 2 today. Might do well to get that underway at 2 p.m. That could push a little bit out towards 2:30 potentially. But what about your squad? Can you give us a little bit of insight on some of your teammates?
Yeah, for sure. I think one thing that's an X factor in our team is our pace attack. Having experience with Kesrick Williams, the youth of someone that's played West Indies under-19 like Shiva Shankar, as well as Dexter Sween and Cyan Hackett, who's played in the West Indies. I feel like our pace attack is one that could be exceptional in this tournament and could win us this tournament for sure.
Yeah, great to see the man with the checkbook celebration or the signature sign-off back into the mix. Kesrick Williams, Gajanan Singh, there's a case to be made. He's maybe one of the very best batters anywhere in the United States of America.
Yeah, I remember his innings that he played here in Ireland. I think that was 2 Christmases ago. That was a beautiful innings. The first time that I'd ever seen Gajanan Singh bat myself, and to see a match winner like that leading our team from the front, it's something that I'd really love to learn from.
You always hear commentating on that very series, and I have to say, almost every single one of the Irish players came to me after. Guys I've grown up playing cricket with, and they said to me, where's this Gajanan Singh come from? He has that origin from Guyana, but remarkable story for those who don't know it. Came to the state of New York with his family, his wife and his daughter, to just come and really chase a new life, having given up on cricket and being given a second chance. Hasn't he capitalised upon it? A century against the West Indies down at the Cricket World Cup qualifier. And I think, for me, I think he's one of the very best batters anywhere in this tournament. Keep your eyes on your skipper, Gajanan Singh. You'll have to say the same. He's your captain.
Well, it's great to learn and have someone like that lead from the front, Andrew. As we can see, both Joshua Trump and the main man, Nitish Kumar, coming back for action once again. How exciting is that, Andrew? I thought we'd have to wait for a bit more longer.
Okay, so with that slight break of play, we are actually going to lose 1 over per side. I don't think it will affect things altogether too much. 19 overs per team it's going to be from here. And what that means is Duckworth Lewis Stern will come into play. We'll have a very slightly adjusted target. We're going to leave that to the men with the calculators and our fantastic team of match officials. I think probably the right call just to get a halt to play. It means that everyone's ready to go. How critical is a good start in this tournament, given it's only the top 4 that go to the semi-finals?
Well, in any short tournament, it's ideal to be winning your first 2 to 3 matches. It sets the tone not only in the dressing room, but also sends a message to the other teams in the tournament.
So we're down to 19 overs per side in this first game. Chintan to continue. The crispness with which Nitish Kumar is striking the ball, he is looking world class right now.
Something about Nitish Kumar gives some hope to us small guys that you don't need big muscles like Dre Russ and all of them. Just need a bat and some classic timing.
Well, I know you've said that a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but I agree with you. It's actually something I adore about cricket. It's for players of all shapes and sizes. Think about maybe the best of all time in Sachin Tendulkar. What was he, 5'5"? Big fast bowlers. Close. I think we're going to go upstairs, and I wonder, has Trump done what's maybe going to be unforgivable and run Nitish Kumar out? They both went pretty quickly. A direct hit definitely was gone. Did Janu get the bails taken off quickly enough? And has that break in play brought about a big, big wicket? Surely Kumar is run out here.
That's great work from the wicketkeeper, Rizwan Mazhar Janu, and he... A prayer answered for Joshua Trump. Seems safe.
We'll wait for the umpire to confirm it, but I think not out is going to come up on the big screen here. It does, and the heaviest sigh of relief anywhere in the ground right now, I can assure you, is Joshua Trump. The last man the Patriots would have wanted to run out with the way he's playing is Nitish Kumar. Direct hit would have been gone, as we said, but it was actually just that bit of extra bounce that meant the keeper had to readjust to take the bails off, which allowed Kumar that extra bit of time to get home. And a sigh of relief too from Kumar. And that's going to add insult to injury. The direct hit would have been gone. It's going to be 50. It's come off just 30 deliveries. This is an innings of the highest quality. 5 fours and now 2 sixes. Nitish Kumar, a sensational start to the USPL 2023.
Just rocks on the back foot and a full extension of the arms from Nitish Kumar. Spanked it away. Half tracker that is from Chintan Patel. The experience of him, we wouldn't expect that at that stage. And it's just been him. It's been a Nitish Kumar show all day for the Chicago Patriots.
And you look at competitions like this one here, the USPL 2023, the phenomenal broadcast that's been put on all around the world. You make runs in these kind of tournaments, people stand up and take notice. And that's not just back in the native Canada, but around the world. There's lots of franchise opportunities. This is a dream start for Kumar.
Yeah, with the inclusion of international T20 franchise leagues, this is just the beginning. It's just the threshold of pushing out cricket not only in the United States, but also across the world.
Yeah, I think for Trump here, his role is really to get Kumar onto strike.
Well, you need that in T20 cricket. You need someone to just anchor the innings, someone to push around during the middle phase of the T20 game to give the man who's doing all the damage some strike.
Flatter through the air this time. That'll get us to the end of the 10th over. The Patriots in a very good position. It's 90 for 3. Kumar, well, he's been different class. He really has. That is different class too. Outstanding from Trump. Himself and his brother come in with big reputations. This is why it's just a pickup shot into the leg side. Not quite going to go all the way for 6, but 4 more to the total.
A beautiful shot that is from the young Joshua Trump. A bit of a half tracker from Sunny Patel. Doesn't really get a proper line and length that he wants to pick. Bowled a beauty the last over, but this one, not too much in his arc. And you can see, yeah, it's a real definition of a half tracker.
You're just going to check the boundary. You felt when it came off the bat it could have been 6, but it's bounced well inside the rope. Umpire just wanted to double check that. That's okay. 4 more to the total, and rightly given as such. A little bit slower through the air this time. But Patel's someone who's played a lot of cricket back in India. Covered a little bit of his franchise cricket in Nepal too. Wrist spinners in T20 cricket are key. Why do you think that is? It's their wicket-taking threat?
I think it's also the amount of variations that they provide. I feel like with a finger spinner, it's only the normal one, the carom ball, and not much more than that. And who else is there better to learn that from? My other under-21 teammate, Yasser Mohammed.
Oh, is that going to go down as a drop chance? Not easy. Hit with real ferocity by Kumar, but could Patel have held on to this?
Yeah, we take a quick look at it once more. Yes, the clear definition of a drop catch there. Got hands to it.
Not easy off your own bowling. It was hit so firmly too by Kumar. Maybe half a chance. We'll chalk that one up as.
Yeah, just got a hand to it. Fingertips, possibly.
Beautiful down the ground, isn't he, Kumar? Will just be a single to close out what is an 8-run over for the 11th. It's now 98 for 3. Just 30 deliveries for Nitish Kumar to get to 55 4s and 2 6s. We identified him before this tournament even started as one to watch. He's proving us right from the start.
It's just been pure class, elegance, and timing from Nitish Kumar this entire innings. Put away the bad balls, respecting the good ones, taking ones when the field spread out.
And just like that, just as we talk him up, he's gone. And again, it's Rakeem Cornwall, the captain. He's putting the team on his shoulders and carrying them literally. Phillies United. He's only bowled 7 balls. He's got 2 wickets. And this time it's the big one. It's Nitish Kumar.
I reckon it's a commentator's curse, Andrew. Hit it straight to the man at mid-wicket. I mistimed that a bit. Came off a little bit of an inside edge. And the rack attack strikes once again.
Well, Kumar is going to be disappointed having done all that hard work. He's gone for 53. Catch safely held by Chinton. And the Patriots are 98 for 4.
Get here, one more here, boys.
Jamar Hamilton it is in at number 6, and It's a tricky period now for the Patriots, isn't it? Do they rebuild, or how do they pursue a total of what they're going to want, 150, 160 plus?
It is looking very tricky indeed, Andrew. 98 for 4. 98's looking okay for a score, but 4 wickets, almost half the team back in the hut. The big man from the Leeward Islands, Jamar Hamilton. Quite a bit of test experience for the West Indies. Played alongside Rakeem Cornwall. I remember watching them the first time in that test series in 2019 back in the West Indies.
There's a really rich Caribbean trend running through the game here. Here's the wicket of Nitish Kumar. Well held actually by Chinton. We didn't quite pick up how sharply that came to him. Holding in that nice comfortable area around the chest. This time there's width on offer and slashed away by Trump for what should be a couple. They might even think of a third here. Won't be able to take it on. You won't get too many threes here. It's about 60 meters that the boundaries are set at. Trump's looked good since he's come to the crease.
A little bit of width from Iraq attack, and a really good shot that is from the young Joshua Trump. Beats the man at a bit backward point.
Something every spin bowler despises when there has been rain around. As it runs through the outfield, it just dampens the ball up. So Cornwall has asked for the towel with a big smile on his face. Well, he's an iconic cricketer, this man, isn't he? So great to watch. But that slippy ball has led to one that's just skidded out of the hand. He gets away with it to close out the 12th. 102 for 4. So the hundreds come up in that 12th over. 7 overs remain. Remember, we've had just 1 over removed off both sides in this because of a bit of a sprinkling of a shower that initially delayed the start and then took us off the field briefly. It's a fantastic facility, this, that we're playing every ball of the 2023 US Premier League at in Broward County. That T20 World Cup that's going to come to American shores next year, something must be the stuff of dreams for young American cricketers.
A very big dream, I would say, for a majority of under 19, under 21 players, especially with the World Cup happening. Same year, a bit earlier though, in January. One that, if you perform in that under 19 World Cup, could get you a slot in that T20 side.
Clubbed down the ground. How much has he got of this? Plenty of it all the way for 6. Stand and deliver stuff. Just maybe a touch over pitched, was it, from Patel, and Van Schalkwyk loves that on the bench. Hamilton, a flying start for him.
Massive and pummeled. Just a big swing of the bat, and he's known that since he made contact. That's gone for a big maximum.
Great bat speed, wasn't there? I think it's a good point you make, actually. You talk about that, what would be a maiden World Cup appearance of any kind for a senior men's team in the T20 World Cup. They did play a Champions Trophy all the way back in 2004 USA. But that under-19 World Cup, there's so much talent in that young side that goes to Sri Lanka in January. Don't rule out maybe 1 or 2 of those youngsters coming into the reckoning. 3 venues will be used for that T20 World Cup next year, here in Florida, 1 in Texas, and sort of a pop-up stadium that's going to be in New York. 35,000 they're talking about at that ground. Extraordinary stuff. And I suspect if we're right, we might see India come here to the United States for the group stages. They're popular visitors to these shores at this ground in particular.
Quite a lot of experience and a big smiling face and sticking out his tongue. That is Sunny Patel. A late cut from Jamar Hamilton. And yeah, look at that. Look at that, like a young boy with candy.
cat that got the cream. Patel is going to close out his 4 overs with 1 for 28. 13 have been bowled. It's 113 for 4.
$113 for 4 in 13 overs. Now the Phillies United, they've used 6 bowlers so far. But when they started off this game, it was 20 overs. They realized it's 19. So one bowler can bowl, 3 others can bowl their full quota of 4. It's up to the captain to decide who it's going to be. As far as the Patriots are concerned, after 25, they lost their first wicket, and then a bit of a stumble when they became 74 for 3 and 98 for 4, despite one end being fluent batsmanship. Now, Gomel. Slightly back of the length. He loves doing that. A single's not going to hurt him too much at this stage. Gomel, plenty of experience back in India as well before he made the switch. Now getting plenty of opportunities here in the United States. He's put in a petition for a slight field change. The captain's given him the positive nod. And that means fine leg, which is inside the circle right now, is just moved a couple of yards towards his left. Just covering the angles better, not the field change then. Wanted to go at it with hard hands. Jamar. Spinners are doing better now. Isn't it, Mikey?
How you doing? Nice to be here. This is a really good performance at the moment. The spinners are, I think, have done a fine job. The track is helping them, of course. It's on the slow side, and they're taking full advantage of it. So it's a really good work at the moment. Good to see.
Interestingly, in between, the spinners also got in a lot of overs very quickly. Now, these would be allowances for the fielding team. A bit of time taken by Jamar Hamilton to get ready to face the next. Rakeem Cornwall uses the same time to put in a word to a very wide long off now. What do you think the plan is, Mikey? There's a hint of turn, not much, but just enough to kiss the outside edge. Oh, he's gone through with it. And long off is just a spectator. When Jamar strikes it, it stays hit. Brian Kane will lift his arms.
And that's not a bad plan. Strong shot. Really good to see. Realizing that anything slightly short, he's going to be able to get underneath, which is what he did, and with strength, which was fine work. That's a good shot right out of the middle. Look at the bowler thinking a little bit.
That's a terrific hit. Just a couple of balls before he was struggling for timing. Now it looks like every part of his bat is the middle. 15 of 8 for Jamar Hamilton. That's the way he plays as well. Just plonks his front foot, creates the arc for the bat to come through, and next thing you know that the ball's flying. He's looking leg side for switching perhaps, but I think the result's going to remain the same. Oh, it's gone straight down the ground. This is getting even bigger. Oh, poor ball. Go explore Fort Lauderdale. Jamar's getting the better of the bowler at this stage because he's reading the length like a book. Terrific striking this.
Yeah, that's fine work. It really is. Looks like he's enjoying himself as well. Nicely played. But again, it's strength. It's really good, that connection. Nicely played. And not too much wrong with that delivery, it's got to be said. So there's an element of risk involved. However, when it disappears like that, there's only one winner.
Gets a little difficult for the bowler as well when the batter is not using his feet but staying there and hitting it quite a few miles away.
That's the difficult thing now. What does the bowler do? They've been smacked with a couple of big sixes down, so pressure right back on the bowler. And this over has certainly cost plenty at this stage. 13 from it, 2 balls to go.
Wanting to be cheeky, gave away the plan a little early. Gomel does what every bowler does when he's getting taken to the cleaners. Just darts one on the leg side, onto the leg, that is. Gets a little difficult for Jamar if he had initial plans to get into a good position to play that shot with fine leg inside the circle. This is much better from Arakshit Gomel. Much better.
127 for 4.
A 127 for 4. Now the Manhattans have started to appear in Fort Lauderdale too.
I think it's Miami Beach. Let's go Miami Beach rather than Manhattan. But that's a very tidy over. That's really given them a nice little kickstart. Look at that. That's really good work. Second highest, I'm going to call it, because there wasn't a wicket falling. Same number was off over number 3, but a wicket fell at the same time. So 127 for 4. 6 overs to go. This is a nice little platform.
USPL 2023. Ever since it started, Sun's been playing peekaboo here. Justin's been brought back into the attack. Oh, that one was left a little early. Wasn't planned, but the wicket will make him happy. Jamar cannot believe it. He's looking at the square leg umpire for his arm to go sideways. Nothing doing, he says.
He's hoping that he was going to call that as a no ball above waist height, but he's saying no. Brian's saying that wasn't above waist height as far as he's concerned.
Jamar's still there. I think Brian's checking now. Jamar's still there. He hasn't moved an inch.
I know, so they obviously are checking. Let's have a look. Is it above waist height? I like to look at this as if someone is wearing a belt and they're standing upright in their crease. That's what it's. That's what the law says. Upright in the crease, and if they're wearing a belt. If it goes above the belt, if they're standing upright, then it's not going to be a no ball. It's hard to call, of course, if they're standing upright. But it's a very tight one. This. Let's just see what the umpire comes up with, because the important thing is a wicket fell. I think it's a no ball.
Now that means. That just means there's Patriots are going to disperse in despair. Looks a little high.
Yep, just on that freeze, standing in the crease. If he's wearing a belt, I reckon that's above the belt.
Jamar was praying, literally praying that it's above. What does the umpire say? Oh, the 3-letter word, the dreaded word for the batter. It's a very innocuous looking delivery that's got the better of Jamar.
I'm not convinced about that, I must say. I don't think that was out. I'm saying that's above waist height. But anyway, I'm a commentator, not the umpire. He's the important guy. And the wicket has fallen at the same time. And maybe the reason he's not happy, and maybe rightly so in my book, 127 for 5.
Striker.
127 for 5. Ali Sheikh's come out to bat now. The Patriots had an option whether they wanted to send a left-hander in Ali Sheikh or another left-hander in Shadow, who's waiting.
Doesn't matter, he's got to give it a shake, whoever he is.
Justin started off, well, he started off with a dream wicket. Didn't have to do much there, though. Just roll his arm over. Now to the left-hander. That's the corridor of uncertainty. It's called so for a reason.
Let's have another look at that wicket delivery. And again, I'll just bring up, is this above waist height? I reckon it's definitely above waist height, but unfortunately for Hamilton, he's on his way back to that hut pretty smartly too. He wouldn't have been very happy in that change room.
Trying to go at it with hard hands from the word go. The umpire decides to call that a wide. Justin's got his fair share of luck initially, though.
Tough call. Tough call with that line. I don't think that's a wide. It's a hard enough game as a bowler anyway, and what he's decided to do to Ali is simply bowl that wide line outside the off stump, but not too wide. And I don't think it was too wide.
Oh, this is much better. And I think in the second attempt, he's taken it. Rizwan's pouched it with one hand, but that'll do. Justin was able to bring this one just a little bit in. Enough to tease the outside edge. This is a planned wicket of Ali who doesn't trouble the scorers.
That is a top delivery. I wonder if there's a bit of extra venom because he called the wide the ball before. It's a beautiful ball, really is. Ali looking to run that, I think. The bat was fairly angled as he played, and he just nicked that through to the keeper, who was lucky enough, I think, to just grab it on the second glove. And Sheikh goes for noughts, 128 for 6. Shadley van Skolkwyk, left-handed batsman, 95 games.
Shadley van Skolkwyk, 95 games, 346 runs. That strike rate just improves every game that he plays. It's a difficult situation that he's walked in, but it's a format that he's made his own. Two South Africans fighting it out here.
Now that one might have been wider than the previous delivery that was called a wide. But again, he's looking to bowl that length to make sure that he shuts down the leg side. That's the plan to van Skolkwyk. Let's have a look at this last delivery. It is fairly wide. And Skolkwyk was reaching and looking for a wide, but nothing from the umpire.
We'll let this one go. Shadley will better wait for a better opportunity to put that one through extra cover. It's one of his favorite shots as well, but he's restraining him from playing that because he also understands that the wicket's column has ticked too far.
It's a pretty good over so far. One ball left in it. Just the wide and a couple of wickets. Top stuff.
Again, slow and into the pitch still. Shadley gets his first run, will retain strike with it as well. 129 for 6 after 15. "15 overs later, Chicago Patriots, after being asked to bat first, at a 129 for 6. Nitish provided a lovely start for them, 53 of 35, just invert those numbers. Mark Shehan leaving the crease early there. Angelo Pereira very disappointed. Joshua and Shadley, they got to provide the crescendo finish. How much would be enough? Remember, if you joined us just now, it's a 19-over contest. It's 129 for 6 at the moment. Well, 16th over, Raheem Cornwall. The question is, he can always decide if he wants to bowl the full quarter of 4 or stop at 3.
So this is an interesting over from the skipper. He will bowl tight. He'll probably bowl a little bit quicker than what we saw initially when he was bowling. But the last over, over number 15, just went for 1 run off the bat, and also 2 wickets fell. So that was outstanding work.
He's got to keep the pressure on from this end and cut the dreams of 170 plus total for Chicago Patriots. Raheem's got that odd ball that bounces a little bit more than expected. Joshua didn't get it from the middle of the bat, but he wants to because he knew how hard he's hit it as well the second's possible. It's an excellent throw nonetheless.
I reckon he's home, but I wonder if Brian is going to send that upstairs. No, decides against it.
Now he was deep inside the crease, so it was his call too, because he knew how much power he'd given to the ball. But the danger end was shadows.
Bound Hakeem Cornwall is talking about.
Had to do that. There is a man in the deep, and it is a terrific catch indeed. Would you believe it? 90% of the time, Joshua thought that's flying away. That's a terrific take. Just the initial movement and the anticipation. Raheem Cornwall strikes again. The captain showing the world how it's done.
It is quite remarkable how much the fielding has improved through the T20 game. And this is just a prime example. That is an outstanding grab. It really is. Look at that, moving a long way to his left. Good stuff from Chiton, really good stuff, and good ground cover. He was always in control of that and knew he had a really good chance. So really good catch from Adel Trump. Goes for 19 off 16 deliveries, 132 for 7.
Place each other at the crease.
3 for 10. 3 for 10 for the skipper.
Oh, much better. Sometimes it's the illusion of spin that gets the better of a batter who's just walked in as well. He didn't play for spin there, though.
A little bit more air with that delivery.
Raheem's so quick to get through the overs as well. He's doing himself a great favor. First runs for Matthew. Exactly what Raheem wanted at this stage. 2 new men at the crease when Chicago are trying to aim bigger.
Look at that wicket. Have a look at this fine grab. Looking for the boundary. That's the name of the game at this stage. Boundaries generally on the leg side, and it's a really good grab. Smart work to his left. Good stuff from Chinton.
Very miserly over this from Raheem. Has also produced a wicket in this one. 4 runs and a wicket so far. If he closes this out well, more pressure on Chicago Patriots, who've forgotten what a boundary looks like. It's been 2 overs already, but the ball's hardly seen a boundary. Shadow improvises and will get the reward for it as well. It's too close to the boundary cushions. The fielder himself suggesting it's for much needed boundary for Chicago Patriots. Shadley gets his first as well. 16 overs later, 136 for 7. Fort Lauderdale, the more we zoom out, gets even more beautiful. The more we zoom in, the game gets more beautiful, doesn't it? Chicago Patriots at this stage are a 137 for 7, 8.5 an over will take them to 163. They'll take it, but 170 is something that they'll entertain in their dreams.
Yeah, I think that's where they probably should be talking, the 170 mark, but gee, they're going to have to play really well from here because only 3 wickets a hand makes it quite challenging. It's another innovation in the game, the drone shot. You see some wonderful shots from various cricket grounds around the world these days with the drone.
Calvin Savage. It looks like he'll bowl the 17th and perhaps come back for the 19th as well, because he's got the change-ups. He's got the back of the lane delivery as well that pops up suddenly. And Calvin is someone who knows how to bowl the bouncer and when to bowl the bouncer as well. No pace provided. You want runs, provide power, says Calvin.
It's worth concentrating on this over, I think, from Calvin. He's someone who's experienced. He knows what's expected at this stage. His field placings will be precise. By the way, they've caught up quite nicely with their the cadence of the game. That's what I like to call it, because it was quite slow initially, but the spinners have caught things up quite nicely. So that's a positive. But the high release point is the key for Calvin. Also the change of pace. He's got left and right.
This should be taken. No, he's put this down. In the end, it looks like 6, but in contemporary times, Calvin is furious because this was converted into a catch. This was supposed to be converted into a catch. Would you believe it? Wasn't too far away from the boundary rope either. Shadley survives.
Should have swallowed that. I think the problem there was he didn't know where that boundary rope was. I thought he was perhaps going to be overstepping it. Meanwhile, he had about another metre to go. So that's not a great performance, and the bowler's not happy.
He's taken a good catch, Sunny. Now he's put one down too. Direct hit could have been interesting. It was a very wayward throw in the end though. Shadley's taking that quick single as well. Shadley's prime here if 170 has to be achieved by Chicago Patriots. And on this ground, 170 with a little bit of rain around can be tricky.
So important when you're in the key positions in a T20 game that you know exactly where the boundary line is. You know exactly how far you can go back. And had he been on that boundary line, a couple of inches in front of it, it would have just pounced that quite easily.
Again, slow. A single. Only a single. Saad is really, really quick. Now what Calvin is doing by not providing pace at all is that he's also making sure that the batters not get into good shape to hit the shots. Shadley struggled with timing. Matthew Tromp struggled with timing.
He is under just a little bit of pressure now with 9 runs off the first 4 deliveries of this over. We're getting deep.
And will he turn for 2? He does. This is brilliant running between the wickets. Shadley can write a book about the 22 yards.
10 points for game awareness. Really good work. Straight away, as he just released the pace. Off that bat, he knew straight away there was 2. So that was a really good understanding, and his partner supported him superbly.
Fresh legs to start with though. Shadley was deep inside the crease. Still, he believed he can get for the second. Oh, the ball just didn't arrive as far as Shadley is concerned. It's a little expensive and over. Calvin will not be happy about this. 148 for 7 after 17.
Go.
148 for 7. 6 twos in there. Rakeem with slow and very slow deliveries. Single is a lovely denomination at this stage as far as Rakeem and co are concerned. Chicago Patriots are inching towards a psychological 150 though.
Crucial over this. Second last over of the innings. Watch him vary his pace.
Does it really have a quicker making room usually?
Remarkable slip fielder, Rakeem Cornwall. He's got great reflexes.
And a big span. Shadley improvises once again. This time denomination even better. Travels the distance. And a smile on Shadley's face tells you the story too. Someone had to put their foot down and say, I will attack the opposition skipper.
And Skokvaker's got 21 now off 11 deliveries, and that's an outstanding shot. Again, I'll make the point that it's something that these guys practice a lot of. They actually get really annoyed when they miss it, and that's quite extraordinary itself.
You're getting a call from Joe Root after this. Now Shadley is following this template, isn't it? If it's there to be hit, he'll go for it, and the next ball he takes a single, quietly assumes a place of the non-strikers in. Sees Matthew go.
He's a very handy cricketer.
Convincingly or not so much, what Chicago Patriots have achieved in the last 2 overs is a 6, at least 1 6 every over. And that 6 is purfled around with singles and 2s in between. This is good domination when the ball's not coming onto the bat nicely.
Crucial delivery.
He's called for 2 once again, but I don't think he's pierced the gap well. Well timed too, so hence he'll get only a single. 18 overs later, 158 for 7, the Patriots. $158 for 7. Nitish provided a lovely start, 53 of 35. And then there were a couple of stop and starts in between. Joshua getting a start, 19 of 16. But when he had to push on, found himself back in the pavilion as he tried to up the ante, perished in the process. 3 for 28. Justin Dill has been phenomenal today. A little bit lucky too, but luck will favor the brave. Justin Dill. Shadley's gone through with that shot as soon as he saw that in his arc. This will travel the distance quite safely this time for Shadley.
Last over, and what a way to start the last over. Control, that's what that shot was about, pure control. Didn't try and overhit it, kept his shape, got underneath it and played it superbly.
Better timed. He's also understood the language that the surface is speaking. He was so ready for this delivery. As soon as he got width, his eyes went agog too. Justin under pressure. He hasn't been for many parts in this game, but now under pressure. What's his response? A low full toss, slightly difficult to hit away. And he does get 6, does Shadley. He's taken on Gomel in the deep. But somehow, just somehow, he was able to dig this one out and get enough elevation.
So there's further bad news because that was a no ball. So there's going to be a free hit as well. Going to get that hurdy-gurdy signal. There it is. Free hit. Hurdy-gurdy was something I used to jump on at the circus when I was a youngster. I don't know what they call it these days.
I'm learning. He's misbehaved with his front foot there, Justin. And that means the Shadow gets another one to whack like this when he's anyways in the mood to treat every ball as a free hit. Just that many forms of getting him out are now suspended. The field can't change. It's the same batter on strike. Will squeeze a double. No, he'll have to stay with a single. Oh, what a disastrous over this has been for Justin so far. A couple of 6s, a no ball and a single, and 2 balls are counted.
Good result, actually, that last delivery, seeing it was a free hit. I mean, that would have been the ideal situation to hit a boundary with. They've zipped past that 170 mark, so this is now building to a nice total on the surface. And of course, Rakeem's team, the Philly United boys, are going to be able to go to the change room when they're batting with the knowledge of what this surface is like to bat with.
Slower than expected. It's got height, but the ingredient that he needs for 6 is distant too, but he doesn't have the distance. Sunny this time makes no mistake whatsoever. In good conversation with the boundary rope too.
And you'll see straight away that he looked down just to check that he was inside that boundary rope. So that's a good correction from the mistake he made earlier. Good game awareness from him this time. Slower delivery. Hard to hit that a long way when there's no pace on it, but straight away there's the look. And he was probably a yard deeper that time than he was with the one that he put down, because that's exactly the same position that he should have been with that previous catch that he's dropped. But Sonny took it. Matthew Tromp goes for 5, 172 for 8 now.
Leroux versus Justin. Oh, wants that single, but the stutter could not save him. Or direct hit will, though. Direct hit will save him. Carmine Leroux could have continued that run all the way to the pavilion. Instead, he stays there.
Obviously very close, or not even close, as per the smile from Dill.
The lack of pace is working really well because it's creating opportunities. Justin wanted someone to back up. There was only the umpire.
I think it was very close. That was why he was exasperated at the end. There's a let off from a South African to a South African.
It's an all South African affair out there. Shadley, Carmine,
it's a trio.
Justin. Yeah. And you're calling it too?
It's a front row.
Oh, that's a good delivery. It's something that he tried with the free hit delivery too. Just that he's changed the angle but not the plan. Keep it away from Shadley. Don't make him reach it. That's one way to also ensure that he doesn't apply much, because every time Notley is in the deep, carrying it, there is a fielder in the deep. Last ball. Oh, that's a good ball for Justin to finish this over with. And I think he's produced something at the non-strikers end too.
I think there's further bad news though. Yep. It's a no ball.
Somebody needs to tell him. But he's run him out. So Kamai, it's been a very disappointing stay there for Kamai. He's tried his level best to get run out of the non-strikers end, it seemed. Unfortunate there for Kamai. Shadley wanted to get the strike, but in hindsight, it's a great decision to have gone for that single, because Shadley is facing the final delivery. Clearly the one striking the ball better. 36-17. Now Justin Dill is having his problems with the front foot crossing the line too much. And it's going to be a free hit once again to Shadley Van Skolwyk. This was the delivery, which is supposed to be the last delivery if it was deemed legal. Carmine Leroux wanted that single. He was swiftly sent back. Shadow didn't move an inch. Now Shadley. Can he send the ball miles? 174 for Patriots. He does send it miles, but it's not going the distance. Man underneath will take it, but it's a free hit, so no problem there. Shadow has to scamper for as many as he can, but looks like he's going to stay with a single.
A bit of a chat between the bowler and the umpire at the moment. There's concern that might have been another no ball, but we're still just waiting for some to get that last one. So that's why Justin Dill was just hanging around, because the umpire had a chat to him. We didn't see a clear signal. Perhaps we can just call this as done, because surely the umpire would have been clearer with his communication, although he is talking perhaps now to inform someone that perhaps it is a no ball. Let's have a look and see if he did have the step. So he's probably just checking at this stage.
Seems to be all right there. Finally, that boot is big enough for him to be making it all right. And Shadow, losing his timing altogether, knew that it'll be taken somewhere inside the 30-yard circle. Looking to go leg side, gifting a catch on the off, but because it was a free hit, the catch would not count, but the run will. The run will, and it's a 19-over contest because we had a little spell of rain taking an over away from us.
Somehow he managed to get that 180 degrees from where he was expecting to hit it. But he played nicely, Van Skolwyk. It was a handy innings. But Hakeem Cornwall will be very pleased, I'm sure, with the way that they got back into this game in the middle. It just got away perhaps in the last couple of overs, maybe, a couple of big runs. But not a bad total. Didn't have to play well. But they've got, again, going to the change room with the knowledge of the surface and how to play against it.
Lack of pace seems to be doing the trick at the moment. 175 for Chicago Patriots, and the route they took was with Nitish 53 of 35, striking brilliantly in the beginning. Mark left early, Shihan did too. Angelo very disappointed with the way he got in the middle, but a score to propel for over 175.
Yeah, that 37 of 19 is really handy. And just remember also, it is just 19 overs, so the run rate was 9.21. So that's actually pretty good. As we look at the work done by the Phillies United and a couple of guys that were the stars for... where's Rakeem? There he is. 3 for 25 and 4 for 45 for Justin. Got some tap. unfortunate as far as he's concerned, but Rakeem did a fine job to keep things on track.
I'll be quite content with 175, I feel. Because at one stage, 160 was a distant dream. And it's a 19-over contest that Phillies United would need to score their 176 within. We'll be back in a bit for this run chase. Three dot balls. It's a good start for Carmine Leroux, and I think it's the first Yorker we've seen in a while. Carmine has decided to go for it in the first over itself. Anything that'll make the big man go back to the hut quickly. Now we'll get that single, because that ricochet is what allowed him to get that single. Nitish cannot be blamed. It's a direct hit. Rakeem looks safe. Has the umpire entertained that appeal, though? Yes, he has taken it upstairs.
See, there was a little bit of a hurry there at the end from Cornwall, and Leroux was pretty vociferous with his appeal. Suddenly he was just jogging down and had to just get the bat down, which he did, so that's safe. Not the ideal way of doing it. You've got to obviously sprint is the ideal way of doing it, then slide the bat over the line rather than just put it over the line. But that's okay, that's not out.
The first run has been a struggle for Phillies United. They wanted to get better from here. Carmine Leroux has been nothing but excellent in his first 4 balls. No warm-up deliveries. I just get a feeling that if there is even a hint to swing, then a slip will come. Just appear. Edge, and yes, the slip was required indeed. This is going to race away for 4. Not in the most convincing of fashions, but Dominic Ricky is off the mark.
Yeah, there's no swing whatsoever. Just sliding it across the right-hander, and it would have been easily pouched had he been there. Looking for that big drive, but again, it's an example of how dangerous a left-arm seamer can be at the start of a T20 game with a new ball.
Leroux has got this lovely delivery that tails back in too. It's just that he's just searching for swing in the markets of Fort Lauderdale right now. Oh, this one came back in and cut him in half. A very polite appeal for a celebration, but yes, the stare will tell you that it's 5 for no loss after 1. Five for no loss, Phillies United, but it was a very scratchy 5 that they managed. Rakeem Cornwall scored a single and eventually got him off the mark. Now backing strike, would want to free his arms, but again Shadley, who's got that delivery that dips in quickly but stays slow after it pitches. Starts off waywardly. I think that wasn't a necessity, it's just a statement sent to Rakeem.
Yeah, just a little bit of a hint of aggression, I guess. Sliding down the leg side. I noticed that there was a bit of excitement from 1 or 2 of the fielders, perhaps to just try and unsettle the umpire a little bit. Rakeem up to the task, just slowly just puts the bat down in time.
Wasn't it beautiful camera work? The 3 layers telling you the story. Oh, he's got enough on this one. He's got enough on this one. Any grounds small enough if Rakeem gets it like this. Phillies move on to 12. Rakeem's off the mark now psychologically.
That is a great shot from Rakeem Cornwall. In the slot. If it's there, as far as he's concerned, it's going to disappear with minimum footwork. Just a little bit of weight transfer, and that's enough to send that ball a long way.
The fact is, it didn't even look like he tried to hit it too hard. And the ball grew wings halfway. It's not even trying. He's so nonchalantly pleasing to the eyes. Shadow's reply, oh, that's inside out in the first 6 overs. That's beautiful indeed to watch. Rakeem Cornwall going over extra cover. Now this is the language he speaks.
Yeah, for those of us who have seen a bit of Rakeem Cornwall over the years, particularly at the top of an innings, you'll know that he looks to launch straight away in a shortened game. Now that again is in the slot. You might think there's not a bad delivery. Yeah, it's not a bad delivery. There's not a great deal wrong with it. But it's the perfect length for the big fella to get underneath and just hammer it over covers.
I think there is Leroux muttering under his breath that I gave you a lovely, lovely start. But Shadley's headed even more lovelier. He's missed a pretty straight ball in the end, Rakeem. The bat swing was through and then the ball arrived after taking a tea break. Rakeem's walked back to the hut almost now. Phillies United 16 for 1.
That's a superb delivery. Again, Cornwall was looking to launch, but watch this just move a fraction. There you go. Just a fraction. So had it continued on the same line, it probably would have hit the bat and it would have been around about middle stump, but it just moved away a little bit, just enough. Coaches say, try and hit the top of off stump. You can't do better than that.
He himself is a coach, Shadley. Rakeem Cornwall goes back for 11. Phillies United 16 for 1. Phillies United did get some momentum with Rakeem striking a huge 6 and then a boundary thereafter. But then eventually perishing. Saad Ali comes to the middle. Now he's someone who screams elegance. Not very well built. Don't go for those muscles, but he can strike the ball very, very cleanly. I remember covering a game in Chicago where he was representing a side in that black sky. The ball went flying all parts at Hanover Park, because Saad Ali was in tremendous touch. That day he opened the innings, now he's chosen number 3. 16 for 1. He's someone who knows how to chase totals too.
Slip in place as well.
Saad goes for that shot eventually. And I think that's going to be couple. Is he trying to come back for the third as well? Oh, the second one itself was a little delayed. He's looking at the bat in disbelief. There are parts which do provide runs, but not as much as you like. Saad going for it the first ball. And 3 a denomination on this ground.
This is really good work, actually. The throw, as it turned out, a bit of tag teamwork here. Partner just pounced on that delivery soon after. But had the throw been the right bounce before the wicketkeeper, there may have been a bit more excitement. But unfortunately, it was a little bit challenging for the keeper and it went past him, but everyone's safe in the end. But not a bad shot from Saad straight away.
What an eventful start this has been for Shadley. 6-4, 3 in it as well. In between a wide 2, which granted another run. Now a wicket. Oh, Dominic Rickey goes over mid-wicket. And that is one of the better shots of Dominic Rickey. Now he started to free his arms too. What a finish to the over. Phillies United, despite losing the skipper. 23 for 1, still a ball to go. Correction, still a ball to go. Remember, he's got to run in again because of that wide delivery.
And Scott very clearly unhappy with the way that was dispatched. On middle stump, worked away nicely actually. Again, just keeping his shape, so that's the important thing about it, not trying to hit it too hard.
Shadley will have something to think about after this over, despite producing a wicket. 23 for 1 after 2. Rakim's back in the hut, but Dominic and Saad would love to script a beautiful story to 176. It's 23 for 1 after 2 overs. Adil, Kwame, Patton, Sunny, Gomel, Chintan. There's a lot of batting to come for Phillies United.
Apart from the wicket of Rakeem Cornwell, they've started well. They're going at 11.5 runs at the over, so that's good impetus right at the top. But I do feel that Cornwell's wicket is a big blow for Phillies United.
Interestingly, there were less slower deliveries after that one cutter that gave him the wicket. Carmel Leroux doesn't want to appeal, knows that the game allows only 3 stumps. He needed 4 on that occasion. Still, a single is stolen while many were absorbed in that appeal. That's good game awareness?
I think there's a bit of bat involved in that one, actually. He had no LB or leg by given. Obviously, a little bit of a tickle under the pads.
A little different from Kamai this time round. He's decided to attack the stumps a little bit more ever since he's begun this over. We've seen a very small sample size, just one delivery, but just get a feeling that he wants to attack the stumps a little bit more despite having a slip in place. No, he wants to utilize the angle, generate the outside edge. Slip in place, great idea. You've been calling it. I think he has 1 ear on commentary.
Yeah, it is right, I think, particularly when you've lost that wicket. However, the length has changed a little bit. He's bowling a little bit shorter than he was initially. That's okay. The name of the game at the moment is to try and get a couple of tight overs under their belt. Try and put the batsman under a bit of pressure.
It's overcast once again. Oh, that's a very good delivery. And he's cranked up the pace as well for this one. I think it's the quickest that he's bowled so far. He's been resorting to the slower deliveries. Carmel Leroux's quickest thing so far was the run-up. Now the pacer has provided one which is difficult to drive to. Nose there, Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic totally lost his shape with that shot. So that's a prime example of what you shouldn't try and do, particularly at the start of an innings.
We'll get that single this time around. Just got a feeling that he had to rush there, Saad, but in the end made it quite comfortably. What differently is Carmel Leroux doing compared to Shadow, who might have produced the wicket, as I said, but Carmel Leroux has been the tighter?
I just think the benefit of the left arm quick is just such a plus, because he has got some talent. He can bowl with some pretty good pace, as we've seen as well, but he's changing things considerably.
Again, an appeal that will die out on its own. A bit of thinking to do at the non-strikers end for Saad now. Brian Kane officiating the first game. We would see him in the second and the third too. The Dominic Ricky getting that boundary, flicking it beautifully over mid-wicket was just terrific to watch in the previous over. That should have got him going. Wasn't the case against Carmel Leroux, who's robbed some momentum back into his dugout. And his team, much better, very compact looking shot to finish that over. Leroux miserly as ever, 3 overs gone, 26 for 1. Now it's a triple header every day at the United States Premier League 2023 up until the league stage. The Patriots are taking on the Phillies United. It's the Mavericks getting ready to face the Carolina Eagles at 2 p.m. You've got a lot of cricket coming your way with New York Cowboys as well, taking on the New Jersey Titans led by Harmeet Singh.
And I think what's really important is the fact that the guys coming up next, Maryland versus Carolina, they'll be watching this game and will know exactly what to expect when they arrive, because the track's going to be exactly the same. It might even turn a little bit more, and it might assist spinners more than... that sort of thing might force some changes in what they were thinking about with the initial side they were looking to play.
Oh, absolutely right. And by the time we arrive at the third game, now Mark Dayal with his very handy off spinner as well. That was in the air. Might have got a fingertip to it. It's very difficult to take catches of that kind. They come quickly at you and are also at an angle with a bit of torque. Mark Dayal almost produced a magic ball. First ball, Angelo Pereira is hiding the pain.
It would have been a fine catch had it been taken because it went very quickly indeed, but I think it just burst through those fingertips.
That was struck really well. Angelo Pereira, the plan almost worked for him, putting himself in a catching position. Couldn't time his jump, but because he didn't need to, by the time he got his hand up, the ball was almost past him. Dominic Ricky on the leg side has been very dominant today. This time even better.
I think a couple of deliveries from the seamers earlier, going a little bit leg side, the bowler's got away with a couple of balls. Now, when a spinner comes into play and there's something sliding leg side and towards the pads, that just deserves to get smacked for a boundary, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion. Really good control. He knew exactly where the fielder wasn't, and that's the important part of that sweep. Good old-fashioned sweep.
Good old-fashioned sweep. Nice. And Mark Dayal, I just get a feeling that he's bowling a touch too fast. Spin has been the way to go, I understand, but lack of pace has been the underlying tone. He's got a ball slightly slower. Oh, it's gone slightly shorter though. And will get that wicket too. Gayan Fernando doesn't make a mistake. Mark Dayal has the last laugh. Dominic Ricky is back in the hut. Phillies United get the second jolt for 33.
It is amazing deliveries get wickets like that. Deliveries that were half trackers almost, and the batsman looking to smack that for 6. Very good catch. Had to come in some distance and almost a full-length dive, and did so well when his elbows hit the ground that didn't pop out. So a good catch. Disappointment for the batsman. And Dominic is on his way for 15 off 10, and the Phillies now 33 for 2.
Gomel, plenty of experience playing in India as well, in the heart of Mumbai. Knows how to script a run chase. Batted with many of the contemporaries who are currently playing in the Indian side. Gomel.
I think Dominic, who has just been dismissed, will still be shaking his head in that change room.
Yes, yes!
Mark Dayal has decided to bowl either short or slightly back of the length, and one has produced a wicket and the other one's a single.
I'll tell you what he is. He's very fortunate because this was a gift for the batsman. He could have hit it anywhere, but he just picked out. And it was a fine catch in the end, so really good work for him. Didn't deserve a wicket, he knows that, of course. But they'll take it.
But did have the room to cut. Would have got a fingertip to it, hence the fuel is not there to reach the fence. But somehow he's pulled it in. But they didn't take one for the throw. They didn't take one for the throw. They went for one for the shot though. Mark will consider himself lucky there. End of 4. Oh, with a ball to go.
Yeah, this is fairly ordinary batting, really. I think that's okay if it was the foot. You know, well, the fact that he let go of the ball might just tell us that the foot was very close to that rope. Let's have a look at when he slips a little bit. Just taps it back, perhaps, to be sure. But not taking a run on that throw was not good game awareness, I'm afraid. Very hard for us to call this, or for the umpire to call this, because that's what the umpires are asking for at this stage, a boundary check. You would hope that the fielder would say 4. if he did make contact with that boundary rope. 4 has been given.
Now at the end of 4, 39 for 2. Four overs gone, 39 for 2, Phillies United. First, they lost their skipper in Raheem Cornwall for 11. Dominic Ricky is the other opener. Back in the hut now. Saad and Gomel. Both of them have got a start. Very, very experienced. Up against Fernando, who in his first ball has gifted a 6. Saad doesn't let Fernando get settled.
Welcome to the crease. Boundary off the very first delivery. That's put a bit of pressure back on him. Nice to see him smiling a little bit, but it was perfectly in the slot to get underneath and launch for half a dozen runs. Fine connection.
Just love that there was no hesitation from Saad. Sometimes a batter can be caught looking at the scoreboard and not playing that shot, but if it's there to be hit, Saad doesn't think twice. Now the cutters have come into play. Quick single will be taken. And good backing up too.
Yeah, really important that. Really good backing up. Certainly good to see that that's something that they've concentrated on and something they've thought about. T20 cricket, there's always a chance to have a shy at the stumps, but you just got to make sure you've got the personnel, the right personnel backing up, just in case it doesn't make connection with the 6.
Economy of 6.7 when you're operating in the power play is okay, but he's very handy towards the death too. Gayan here has been entrusted with providing a wicket at this stage. Phillies United are scripting a comeback after losing their openers. Gently tapped away. It's still an option. That length that Gayan's bowling hasn't been seen so far in the second innings. Now here are two batters who can be very flamboyant if required, but now the scoreboard is asking them to not free their arms if it's not there to be hit. Hence, they would want to script a partnership here, peppering it with singles and converting them into 2, borrowing a leap out of the way Shatley batted. Oh, good adjustment. Still getting into a good position to swivel despite not reading the length early. This is good cricket all around. Gayan watching the batter till the last moment. And that slide and stop with one hand. GE cricket, it's a beautiful sport. A lot to unpack in the last 3 seconds, but a beautiful sport.
Phillies at this stage were 53 for 1, just to give you a little bit of a comparison. 48 for 2 is the score, so it's neck and neck.
How many times have we seen this already? The batter thinks the ball's arriving, but it's actually arriving late. It's taking the next train.
Now's the time you're going to see more of that as well. So we're 1 ball away from 5 overs being bowled, so that new ball will be getting just a little bit softer. So there'll be more change of pace as we move throughout the rest of this innings.
Patriots for 55 for 1 at this stage. He's running the first one hard, but he's got to settle with a single because Strom's one of the quickest to get the throw in. And hence a better friend for Fernando too. 5 overs gone, 49 for 2, Phillies United.
So there's the comparison, 60 for 1. What have we got? 55. 2 clocks, just a little bit different.
.50 comes up for Phillies United. It's taken them 31 deliveries to get there. and a couple of jolts to Saad and Gomel, both of them thinking about a partnership. That would be the buzzword. The captain's entrusted Mark Dayal with another over, but I think Saad's got this one away for 4. He loves the mid-wicket region. He doesn't mind dragging it from outside off if required, but it's a run-scoring opportunity for him every time he gets it in the mid-wicket region.
Yeah, it's nicely played. Eyes lit up on that situation. It was just perfect for him just to free that front leg, give himself some room to play through the ball, and a good result.
18 of 9 on a difficult track. And then he knows how to take this cheeky single too. Saad is in complete control.
I'm not sure it's a difficult track. I'll just say it's an interesting track. I think that's the important thing. So I think it's okay to bat on. But I like the bowlers getting into a game in T20 cricket as well. So I think it's a track where you've got to be at your very best, because the bowlers are trying various deliveries, and you've got to make sure you can combat that nicely and also hit boundaries when you can recognise the right delivery.
Very rightly said. I think it's a track that's restoring the balance in our sport.
Nice to see, really.
6 of the first 3. Alongside that, Gomel will still choose this ball.
That's a poor delivery. That got exactly what it deserved. Sliding down that leg side and really just helped on its way. A little bit quicker as well. So just a matter of getting a bit of willow on that, and it's going to disappear very smartly.
It's Christmas come early. Minimum effort, maximum result. Beautiful shot. 10 of the over so far. This is much better from Dayal. But because a couple of boundaries have already been achieved, a simple tap would do the trick. It's interesting that Mark Dayal hasn't been able to get a dot delivery in this over. It's either been a boundary or the strike's been rotated. The current rate's 10.2. Required rate 8.8. They're doing really well, despite the dot delivery that eventually comes by in the over. 6 overs later, the power play restrictions of the first one would be lifted. 60 for 2. $116 required from 7. Dark blue. The problem occurs for a batting team when the worms start to look like caterpillars with a lot of dots adjacent to each other. Joined by Andrew Leonard now. Warm welcome, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you so much, Suhas. Great to be back with you. Been a long time, and great to be here for this 2023 USPL.
But the length seems to be working for Gyan. The timing's a little off once again. And the fact that it's only a single tells you the efficacy of the throw as well. It's one thing to get to the ball quickly, Andrew. How important is the dispatch?
I think fielding just generally in the modern T20 game is so key. So an excellent catch taken towards the end of that first innings. And you've got what I would describe as in and around a par total. I know you might think 175 as a target on the board is something that would put the batting side ahead, but it's such a good batting surface here at this ground. We've seen high scores chased down regularly, so your fielding, your third asset of the 3 skills, so key.
Once again, the slower delivery this time gets into a lovely position to wicket away. Just love the fact that he's got something about timing the cricket ball, Saad. But it's just that the outfield after that spell of rain has been a better friend to the fielding team. Perhaps the 12th fielder itself. Saad 21 of 12. Gyan Fernando in these 2 deliveries is balled slower. The cutters will come into play, and he knows that on the surface. Neck, zit. Saad has produced a second boundary in that region. Gyan can do nothing but afford a wry smile.
Yeah, that's all it is, really, isn't it? A wry smile because he knows he's been maybe a little bit outthought. Innovation from Saad, shuffling down the crease, getting it right into the hitting arc. Gets it nicely, and often that area you can see the mid wickets up in the circle. Get it over his head, he'll get good reward. Couple of bounces, 4 more.
This time driven through the off, and it's got even more pace. This is for the photographer. Saad produces another boundary. One on the leg side, one on the off. The world's a better place when Saad's batting like this.
Well, marvellous stuff, this time over pitched. It shows that you can put a bowler off his lengths by just innovating a touch. So the previous delivery came 2 or 3 steps down. This time goes too full. Don't think that fielder's at the correct angle at cover.
A swivel from Saad that will produce the same result. Just the region is changing. A hat-trick of boundaries with a ball to go. Phillies United 75 for 2.
Well, 3 in a row. And a nightmare for any captain to set a field to, because he's gone over mid-wicket, he's gone through extra cover, and now he goes around the corner. Where's Fernando trying to target? That's the question. I don't think he even knows right now. He's been outthought by some innovative batting here.
Just enough room to cut that away, but the sweeper will ensure that it's only a single. Saad will be on strike for the next one. 7 overs gone, 76 for 2. Seven overs gone, 76 for 2, 34 or 16 for Saad. Now that he's got a start, he's entrusted with going the distance as well. The two worms were neck and neck the way they started. Now the worm in dark blue is peeping above its counterpart. It's a wicket at the end for the Chicago Patriots that hurt them. The wickets at the end, despite a good revival from Shadow. I think Jamar got out at a wrong time. There's never a right time to get out though, but he got out on a wrong time. He had a lot of momentum at that stage. 76 for 2, and it's time for spin. Shehan Jayasuriya. He comes from the lander spin as well. It's going to be a single first up. It's the keeper himself walking behind it. Oh well, make it 2. Make it 2. It's a direct hit at the non-striker's end, and a direct hit is usually a boon, but on this case, it's a bane. 3 runs granted to the opposition. 2 for the shot, 1 after the throw. Shehan's not a happy man now.
I said in the first innings, I'm not sure how many 3s we're going to see during this USPL 2023. Excellent fielding. You can't really blame him, but the overthrows allowed. Because of that direct hit, they'll get through for a 3rd. Do you occasionally see some bowlers bowl, given not out by our 3rd umpire, Vijay? I'll have to ask Jayasuriya about that in the innings break.
Not getting hold of this one. Just felt he's getting slightly short. He's sitting deep inside the crease there. Gomel was aiming for a better shot for sure. 80 for 2 in 7.2. Economy of 7.4. Shehan Jayasuriya has got that one that's a skidder. Goes very low, collapses his knee, creates that angle where it gets difficult for the batter to get underneath. So far, so good for Shehan. Now, how do you get elevation, Andrew, when someone's trying to skid the ball like that coming in from the lower level?
He's pretty short in stature, isn't he? The target's actually 176, not 175. It's kept a bit low. That's exactly what he's going to try and do. Come quite round arm. Not allow the batter to use his feet, get down the ground. But right now, required run rate, it's hovering less than the current run rate. They're going over 10 and over. They only need a little bit less than 8.5 per over.
Change of angle for the right-hander, but it's going to be the same result as single. Shehan Jayasuriya is one of the many bowlers who respected the art of bowling slightly lower arm. Remember Aslam from Kuwait? You've got a lot of cricket of that too. Remember, we met in Nepal covering that cricket. He did the same thing. And the batter was unable to get underneath the cricket ball, hence a little frustrated with the singles and twos. It's also posted in as well with this boundary. Moves on to 42 as well with this boundary. 8 overs gone, 86 for 2. What a finish to the over. In the end, the over turns out to be a nightmare for Shehan. Started off well though. Saad was able to get this boundary away. Gets into such lovely positions, and it feels like he has 2 shots to every ball on the leg side. He can go anywhere from deep mid-wicket, cow corner to square leg in the deep. Such good control, and Shehan knows that Saad outsmarted him with the angles.
Well, Jayasuriya seems to be unhappy with the fielder there. I don't think there's anything the fielder could have done. He's made swift ground to his left. He's run a good line on the ball. He's tried to cut it off. But here's the key spell for me. Ali Sheikh is a fine young cricketer. Home produced in America. He's a very clever bowler. Again, not altogether dissimilar an angle as to the one that Jayasuriya delivers with, but there's a lot more skill to his bowling than Jayasuriya's. And turn.
Does it carry? Oh, this time, does it carry? Oh, well, would have been a spectacular take. But it's an opportunity grasped, not grasped. Ali Sheikh cannot believe it. He produced the magic ball almost, Andrew.
Mark Dayal has a real chance on this. He does everything right, in fact. He's dived like a goalkeeper, and he's done brilliantly well to get both hands to it. It's just popped out. He's made 4 or 5 yards to his left. Very athletic, acrobatic effort, but it goes in and out. And it's a life.
Ali to the left-hander, interesting battle, because Saad has been the one providing the aggression. Akarshit Gomel, 17 of 13. He's been playing the second fiddle because Saad is kicking into the next gear. Slightly uppish as he cuts this one away, but there is Trump in the deep. So only a single.
He's a real talent, Ali Sheikh. He could have had his first. It would have been as much due to Dayal's dexterity as it would have been the delivery. Need your fielding to support your bowlers though, that's key. Certainly Sheikh has so much talent. He's not just represented the USA under-19s, also has the senior caps too for the Stars and Stripes, and he is definitely one of the hottest prospects anywhere in the country.
He learns so quickly, Ali Sheikh. That's what all the coaches tell me. Oh, this should be taken. It is. The ball's more. Found a reason to smile. And it's the perfect end to his over too. Just 2 runs and a wicket. Getting a start, Gomel, but not going the distance.
Oh, magnificent bowling. It's all about his angles and his lines throughout that over. He's clearly and very cleverly kept the ball out of the hitting arc. Joshua Trump is going to make no mistake on that one. And Sheikh's deserved that wicket. Could have had 2 in the over, but he's got 1. Gomel's gone for 17. Phillies United, 88 for 3.
Adil Bhatti, who has the experience of international level now. He's going to strip this better run chase. 88 required in the last 10. They're in a good position though, Phillies. Saad going for the big shot. Well, somehow squeezing it past the fielder inside the 30-yard circle. Eventually, it'll be 2 runs. Shian's not providing any pace whatsoever.
One more look at the wick lever. That's the dump. It's hidden away outside the off stump. As a consequence, it finds the outside edge. This is nicely cut. Going to be 4. Width on offer. I'm not sure Jaya Surya should have been persisted with, but he has been. And Ali is playing a game-changing knock. Can it be a game-winning one?
Saad has been absolutely sensational in picking and choosing his areas too. This is much better from Shehan. Just get a feeling that Saad knows the field better than the opposition skipper at this stage. He's been hitting in the gaps so very well. No chance for the fielder at backward point. This is launched. And deep mid-wicket again, and just a spectator. Reaching his half-century in style. Saad Ali keeps them in the hunt. 100 comes up for the Phillies United as well. The benchmarks are tumbling.
Well, if Saad Ali is still there in the 19th over of this chase, there's only one winner in this game. It's Phillies United. He's in cruise control. 26 balls, 6 fours and 2 maximums, including that one to get to 50. He's played beautifully, and he's been very selective with his hitting. When it's come into his hitting arc like this one did, he said thank you very much, and he's hit it out of the park. Jaya Surya, expensive thus far. They have to find a way past Saad Ali, and they have to find it in the next couple of overs.
But it's been 101 for 3. Phillies United 101 for 3 in 10 overs. $101 for 3 in 10 overs. And if they reach to 101 Phillies United, they have a thank you note to write to Saad Ali. 56 of 28 balls, just timing the aggression brilliantly in this run chase so far. The mission will end for them at 176, and it looks like they're in the driver's seat at the moment. Rakim and Dominic were the 2 batters who left for the hut a little early, and then Gomel was the 3rd wicket to fall. Kwame, Pattinson, Sunny, Chintan, Justin batting to come. Yes, still Calvin Savage, don't write him off. A terrific batter himself. 101 for 3 at the moment, though. That is beautiful stadium. Every time you come over here, it just tells you after the game, you go in any direction, you'll be greeted with more beauty, natural. 75 runs required in 54 balls. Phillies United know that it can be a very straightforward run chase if Saad Ali hangs around. But does Sheikh Ali have other plans? He's picked up a wicket already. Cut shot can be a danger because he's got the ball that. But if you tap it gently, it's a better way of dealing. It's one thing to be aggressive. It's quite another to time your aggression. Picking and choosing the deliveries is something that the youngsters watching from this innings of Saad Ali would have learned. It's a very different route to the 50 we saw initially. Coming diagonally, Ali Sheikh. It's not something that you see often these days. Coming diagonally. It's important that Bhatti doesn't get a little impatient.
We're just seeing Calvin Savage go through a few warm-up routines at short fine leg there. I think that has to be an indication that's the end of Shehan Jayasuriya for now. The key matchup for me that's going to decide this contest is the one here. Left arm spinner to left-handed batter. You think that matchup will play in favour of the left-handed batter, particularly being on 57 off 29. But Ali Sheikh's a very clever bowler. He's going to hide it away. Something's going to happen here.
He's gone for the big shot. And again cleared with ease. Saad is toying with the fielders in the deep. They don't exist for him. Oh, what a hit. There was a contest brewing. Something
wasn't it? Two up. There's a man out. Right, and nicely picked up. There's a man out in that exact line that he hit the ball at deep mid wicket, but he takes him on. And it goes over his head. Can Sheikh strike back?
He didn't deliver. This was a ghost ball. But he's allowed to do that. Any bowler who feels that he's been robbed of rhythm even just a bit, it's okay for him to stop and come back again. This time he wanted to keep it outside the hitting arc, but Saad has pummeled this away straight down the ground. This is even bigger. Oh, what a finish to the over with Ali hitting a couple of sixes, 115 for 3 in 11. What an over it was turning out to be for Ali Sheikh. Just 2 runs for the first 4 balls, but the last 2 disappear for sixes. This was the bigger one. This was the better one. Again, outsmarting the bowler who wanted to keep it outside his arc. But the arc is getting bigger and bigger for Saad Ali as he continues to play a brilliant innings. Ends up being 14 at the over, forcing the captain to bring back Carmine LaRue. Brilliant induced wicket, but almost produced a wicket. That's been the template so far. What a good attempt by Hamilton.
It's actually going to be Carmi LaRue, isn't it? Oh, Calvin Savage got my 2 South African origin players mixed up there in the previous over. Definitely cramped him up. Just be interested to see if there's any bat on this. Given as runs, I believe. So a chance, albeit a very, very difficult one down the leg side for Jamar Hamilton. Acrobatic effort. Got his left hand out, but couldn't cling on.
Not in a good position as he played this one. Fielder settling underneath it and pouches it to perfection. Kumar will not leave this ball. It's Saad walking back to the hut. The game's wide open once again. Phillies United Well, Phillies United have lost their fourth at 116 on the board. Saad cannot believe it. There was a ball indeed that had his name.
Massive moment in the game. Is this the big wicket? Has come clearly off the toe of the bat. Well bowled. Carmi LaRue hides it away outside the off stump. A highly ambitious stroke. Trying to get it all the way, maybe over deep mid-wicket. It ends up coming off the toe, going straight to long on, where Nitish Kumar takes a gleefully accepted catch. Saad Ali outstanding, but he's gone for 69. 116 for 4.
$116 for 4. Sunny Patel comes in because Saad Ali is back in the hut. You got to say it's great captaincy from Angelo Pereira, who's thrown the ball to Carmi LaRue and has produced the wicket once again. But the poor deliveries that he's interspersed that wicket with has been the problem. Down the leg side this time.
One more look at the wicket here. Banged into the surface, and it's that little bit of extra bounce combined with the line of the delivery that has proved Saad Ali's downfall. And Hamilton gave him the big send-off too, didn't he? He knew how big a wicket that was. Okay, 59 off 45. You still think that plays in favour of the chasing side. Required run rate under 8 runs per over. But nobody really, just being 3 small scorers from the other 3 dismissed batters. Nobody's got going like Saad Ali has.
This would be another single. Now the Patriots were about between the two sides in accelerating in the middle overs, or just about getting to the middle overs. Angelo Pereira trusting Carmi LaRue to come back in and bowl his third at a stage where the partnership was brewing, blossoming, and he picks up a wicket. It's a story in itself. Now can he keep it down this over? He's got to close it out well. But that down the leg side has been a bane for him. It's the third time he's drifted down the leg side. A couple of times it's been a wide. Once he's generated the little bit glove.
If you take away the wides, he's been close to untouchable. Talk about the problems he's had with injury, plenty of them. Maybe with the exception of Sarav Netravalkar, there's no better left armour based here in the States than Carmi LaRue when he's fit and healthy.
Oh, that's a close call. What does the umpire say? Umpire unmoved. And they steal a single there as well. They steal a single while everyone was absorbed in the appeal. 120 for 4.
Fascinating thing here, it's given as leg byes, so there is no bat involved. Has it pitched in line? Well, you'd think it has. Has it hit him in line? Absolutely. Is it going to go on and hit the stumps? The question is maybe height. It's very, very close indeed.
Will LaRue, you get height. This could have been more dangerous than it proved to be for Sunny. Was trying to tap it away. A dot ball to India over a very long. Phillies United 120 for 4, surviving an LBW scare there. Phillies United almost losing another. This will tell us. Where did it pitch? Where did it pitch? Just outside. In the end, it's a great decision by the umpire, McFarlane. And put away, put away. It just had so much power. that he was unable to curtail it. Angelo Pereira knows that it was clobbered, and that's the problem. Trom couldn't do much despite the dive.
The combination of this fifth and sixth bowler in the shape of Jaya Surya and Angelo Pereira has to be better. Great effort in the deep, good athletic effort. If you look at their now 2.2 overs combined, they've gone for 28 runs already. Have to bring that required run rate into play. The 7.5 will not cause concern at this rate. Brilliant umpiring decision to close out the previous over. He's an occasional bowler at best, Pereira.
Matt, though, after being hit away for 4. I think it's a good comeback after being hit away for 4. Now he's giving away singles, but it's also because the batters are not trying to attack him because they know the boundary is achieved in the over early on. Just sets the template nicely, the tone nicely for the batters. It's mixing it up too as far as the length is concerned. This time it was shot and he's pulled that away to perfection. It was 6 the moment it left the bat. 44 of 37.
I think clearly the wrong call. I know Ali Sheikh got hit for 2 sixes by Saad Ali. He should have stayed on. There's 2 men. I think they were on 2 and 1 at the start of this over. Part-timer into the attack. He's being punished.
Inside out this time, work to do for a very wide long off already. Doesn't get that under control, but still dispatches a throw. It was a very polite appeal from Angelo because he was more brewing in frustration. 13 overs later. Is it going to be 2 more added to the tally? It is going to be 2 more added to the tally. 1-3-4 for 4.
Nicely played to the sweeper on the offside. Ian, what do you think? What are your thoughts going to the end of this game?
It's a good game. Change in direction here since the wicket of Saad Ali. Batted beautifully. Same role as Nitish Kumar did in the first innings. It's anyone's game as of here.
41 from 35. That's what's required. So boundaries, I guess, are certainly going to help the cause. That was a little bit of an agricultural swipe, I suppose, on the leg side. Just the single.
And if you'd be Chicago Patriots, you want to look for wicket deliveries here, Mike.
Yeah, that's what you need to do. Make sure that no one gets settled and no partnership start. I would think the Phillies will be the favourites at this stage with 6 wickets in hand.
Still have Carmi to bowl 1 more over, as well as Mark Dayal still has to come back for 2.
Nicely bowled delivery, a little bit quicker. Just firing it in, you can't do too much with that.
Yeah, Adil Bhatti's been looking to heave everything onto the onside. A lot of slog sweep, cross batting, cricketing strokes. Sunny Patel still looking to get a little bit of rhythm in his innings. Has just played 6 balls as of now.
A little bit of flight that time. And it's done, too much air. Exactly what he shouldn't have done, too much air.
And the slot for Sunny Patel. Too easy for a man of his caliber, and bang, a big swing of the bat. Full extension of his arms, a huge swing. And that's a big maximum.
And that makes a big difference in this chase. With that 6 now, it's 32 of 31 balls. Last ball now of over number 14. Clever, just the single, so he's going to retain the strike as well. That is a crucial over. 14 gone, 145 for 4. 55 off 33 balls. That was extremely valuable, that partnership. Saad Norris, and also 28 off 14 was good between Saad and Adil. 29 off 18 is building beautifully as far as the Phillies are concerned.
Change in bowling here. Pace bowler brought back into the attack. Surprised not to see Karmi come back in. Exceptional figures, 1 for 11 for his 3 overs. See Mark Dayal, Gayan, Shehan, Ali Sheikh, as well as Angelo Pereira, the skipper himself.
To the ball, running it off width, just using the pace of the ball, running it off the blade, and that's away for a boundary. A boundary first ball, the over. That's the important part of that.
Hasn't been Shadley's day at all with the ball so far. Beautiful striking from him in the first innings, but hasn't got it right with ball. A little bit of width, too much width. And he just gracefully opens the face of the bat. Just kisses it, caresses it for a boundary.
Just a perfect start to over number 15. 27 required. Nice cricket shot, eased onto the leg side. So they can just chip away at this stage. They don't have to take any risks whatsoever.
Mike, the game is slowly falling out of the hands of the Chicago Patriots, with only one of their strike bowlers having 1 over to go and everyone else basically being toyed away. It's looking very hard if they don't get quick wickets in this stage.
Yeah, 154 at the moment. That's exactly what they need to do. Pick up a couple of wickets, put them on the back foot. Good work of his own bowling. That certainly would have been 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, as of right now, a good comeback from the boundary from the first delivery. As you can see, a bit of pace off. And just a straight extension of his arms, a straight face presentation of the bat.
So 4 off the first, 1 and 0 after that. Slower delivery. Just the single, that's all they need to do. If they pick up the odd boundary from here, it's going to be absolutely fine. They really can just work this around. I don't think they've got the bowlers to keep Sonny in particular really quiet in this sort of situation.
Still have a lot of batting as well, with the under-21 player Kwame Baton Jr., a left-handed batsman, as well as Calvin Savage still needing to come out to bat. A hard hitting.
That's nicely fielded. Good work. Certainly saved 3 runs. Yeah, you're right. Calvin Savage is someone who can be very handy in this situation.
But as of right now, Mike still need just less than a run a ball as of now. Need to take crucial wickets.
Delivering that one from wide of the crease, just a little bit of variation. .15 gone, 152 for 4. .24 required of 24 deliveries. 6 wickets in hand. Should be a bit of a stroll in the park here for the Phillies. No need to take any extreme risks. What they need to do, of course, is to make sure they do not break this partnership. It's been a very good one so far. Gone at a good rate.
21 player.
It's nicely bowled and not too far away. Diving mid-wicket to his left. Really good work from Adil.
Seems to be the game for the Phillies United. Seems to be a dream come true for them.
Correction, Ali, that is.
Yours, Angie. Right.
These two batsmen are playing with really good confidence right now.
Bowling. Bowling, Ali.
This can change quite quickly in T20 cricket if they do happen to get a tight over.
And attempting that slog sweep, a sweep shot playing onto the onside towards that slightish vacant onside. Still have a man at deep mid-wicket and a slightish deep square leg, a bit fine from deep square leg.
Well, they've got some concerns now. There's only been 2 runs of 5 deliveries in this over, so this is outstanding work from Ali.
Top-notch bowler Ali Sheikh. Has international experience at the youth and senior level, and he's showing his class right now.
This is another tight delivery. This could do strange things to batsmen's minds. I think it's going to be only the one. Good, brilliant work from Ali. 60 right for 4. 16 gone, 155 for 4. So important to get up when you're playing your very first game. So the Phillies now need 21 from 18 deliveries. Still 6 wickets in hand, so still very much the favourites. However, that tight over from Ali can do weird things to batsmen. Suddenly they can scramble their minds a little bit. And the idea in T20 cricket from the bowler's perspective is to try and take a batsman out of his comfort zone.
A beautiful over from Ali Sheikh, Mike. Only 3 runs in a crucial situation for the youngster, and he proves his class on that occasion. No surprise to see Carmi Larocque's being given ball in hand with only 18 to go.
Larue now, what they need to do is back that up after that fine over. Try and get maybe the first 2 or 3 deliveries very tight indeed. If that happens, then suddenly this game could turn. No run.
Now we've seen that a lot with pace bowlers in this competition. So on this wicket, wide Yorkers, cutters, slower ones. How effective do you think that would be on this track as of right now?
It would be very effective. Be very effective as the games go on, as the days go on as well. Cries of catch it, but he's hit it too well. It's on the one bounce as well, and it's only a single. So that's okay as far as Larue's concerned.
Tight situation, 20 off 16, was at a stage where it was less than a run a ball at one point for the Phillies United. Pressure on both teams right now. Game is up in the air.
Yeah, this is tight. Nicely played, moving to the leg side, but Larue knew he was going that way, but the shot was too good. Got it away superbly. Good support in the field, and 2 runs the result. Maybe should have been 3 runs, but 2 is all it was.
And you could see he's not getting as many runs that he'd like, even though he's placed that beautifully in the gap. Still's only got 2. Pace off, not as much as required. Pierced the gap, but that's great work with Ali Sheikh, showing those Ronaldo football skills.
I think they should have got 3 runs there, I must say. 18 from 15. Hit that pretty well. Straight. Might be a boundary. No. Tracked, and 2 more the result. That time it's good running and fine cricket. Good stuff from the Phillies. Thirsty stuff from the Phillies.
A bit 2 up. A bit 2 up from Carmi Larocque. Good running Phillies United. We've seen a lot of that so far this game. A good understanding between both the striker and the non-striker.
Oh, he's got that away for a boundary, I think. Yes, he has. Crucial. Absolutely crucial. Very hard for a ball in this sort of situation, but with 1 ball left in this over, you don't want that one to go for a boundary.
has not delivered. Short of length, and that's easy pickings for Adil Bhatti. Vacant region, and he just has to throw his hands on to get a bit of contact. And it races away for a boundary, looking much more easier for the Phillies United now.
That changes things, 12 off 13. It's a nice last delivery. They pick up just the single though. So 17 gone, 165 for 4. So Ali has finished his 4 overs. 1 for 30 was his return. So 17 overs, that is the scorecard. 165 for 4 is where Chicago worked at the same stage.
Skippers decided to go back with spin. Shehan Jayasuriya comes back into the attack. 23 runs off his 12, a little expensive, Mike.
It's 148 for 7 where the Phillies were. And they were batting, so it's a situation where they just had to make sure that they did step on the gas just a little bit at that time, and they perhaps didn't.
Doesn't have much of a choice, Angelo Pereira. He doesn't have his strike bowlers remaining in Ali Sheikh and Carmela Rocks. Bowled out for 4 each. So he has one more option. Might go with Chadley Van Skalwick for the final.
11 off 12. Oh, that's very nicely bowled. That's not too far away from that off stump too. Looking to work that on the onside with a quicker delivery.
And the Wiki Jamar Hamilton very surprised that they did not touch off stump. A very good ball to begin, Shehan Jayasuriya. Momentum.
He's not the only one. I'm surprised as well. That was very close. Tries of catch it. This is going to be on the bounce though.
A good start for Shehan Jayasuriya as of now. 1 from 2. He still has 4 to go. And now a run of ball still remains for Phillies United. It has been the story for them this entire second half of the chase.
Tries of catch it. Heaved onto that onside. Run away towards that boundary, and that's gone for 4. So that's a boundary for the Phillies at exactly the right time.
A big smile and gesture of the head made by Sunny Patel, just showing that yes, I knew he was going to bowl there. And a big heave onto the onside, as you could see, gets good enough bat on it. And the chase is getting even more easier for Phillies United.
Yeah, for an off-spinner, that man at midweek was far too straight. Dragging that one on the onside, looking for the big hits, and that is beautifully done. That is outstanding work. Absolutely brilliant.
Mark Dayal, I believe that is a beautiful save, just a one-hand extension. Looked like a basketball slam dunk. Just looking at it again, Shehan Jayasuriya, a little too up in the slot. A big heave straight down, and oh, look at that. Looking like Air Jordan.
Save 5 runs. Absolutely brilliant. 6 from 9 is the equation, so it's a fairly easy situation for Phillies United, but outstanding work from Dial.
And I think they're checking for a replay here, the umpires, because they believe that it may be 6, just to re-look at it. Seems clean. Just another look at it from another angle. Up in the air. And yeah, that's clean. Has thrown the ball into the arena before he's touched the rope. And a very good piece of fielding.
Magnificent fielding. Offside, too wide. Middle of the bat. One bounce, and that's gone for 4. That is a fine shot. Really nicely played. They're smelling the victory now.
Oh, Sunny Patel. Actually, Adil Bhatti, correction. What a beautiful stroke. He must have prayed now. But regardless, score is level. Score is level.
Yeah, just the one. That's all they need. Plenty of balls left. 1 in this over. And there it is. That's the winning shot. So important to win your first game in this tournament, to make sure that change room is happy Everyone's playing well, and that unites a team as well. So that's really important for Phillies United. Good victory for them. Patriots, of course, will be disappointed by it. They will be ruining the fact that they didn't quite get the runs that they should have. But well done to Phillies United. Really good performance. Nice work from Sonny. Ended up with 25 off 20 balls with 2 4s and 1 6. Adil played nicely also for 34 off 24, 3 4s and also 1 6, and a strike rate of 142. So that was really good work from him. But, Chicago will be disappointed with the fact that they have gone down in their first game. So they've got to play a little bit better for the next game to make sure they don't go 2 down after playing 2. A couple of points it is in the table for a victory, so 2 points for the Phillies United. And they certainly are the happier team. Boys on the left as they walk out. So really good work from them. There's some smiles, of course, as you'd expect. That was a pretty good game for the first game of the USPL. The winning run, just to get the 1 run, but it's a little bit difficult when you've just got to get the 1 run off 7 deliveries. I think they timed things superbly right towards the end, so really good performance, out of the blocks quickly, and their friends in the dugout out of their seats pretty quickly as well as they applaud that victory. So good work from Sonny and also Adil to steer that ship home quite comfortably. Back at what has happened in this innings, 176 before it ended up. But Saad was the best performer, 69 off 32 balls. That was a really good performance. Adil Noor off 34 off 24 deliveries, and Sonny Load at 25 off 20. So really good work from Saad, batting at number 3 with that 69. Look at the partnerships, that tells a little bit of a story as well. Saad was involved in a couple of good ones, 55 and also 28, but 60 off 42 balls between Adil and also Sonny. It was very handy to see the Phillies United home. Just a quick look at the bowlers too from the Chicago Patriots. You'll look at the economy rate. Some of those are a little bit ratty. Mark going at 12, Shadley going at 12 and a half, and Van Skolkbeek that is. Angelo going at 14, Guyan 13. And Shane 11, but the wickets column was not enough. 4 single wickets taken with those first 4 bowlers. They needed someone to pick up 2. Phillies United. Look at the highlight. All right, let's have a look at the highlights. It's so important to try and get a good start. That's how you get things going, and the captain was very keen for that to happen, but that was a fine delivery from Van Skolkbeek to knock back that off stump. And some runs came. They had to keep up that run rate. That was a fine grab. Guyan took that catch. Very good work from him coming in from mid-wicket. Boundaries came, which was really important at this stage. The seamers, I don't think they've changed their pace quite enough. They varied their length a little bit, but that got a little bit of tap. The spinners were the guys that should have been able to control things a little better, I feel. Good catch. Very good catch indeed. Another on the backward square, so a couple of guys in the game in that region. So that stage things were just looking a little bit different. But then this partnership started some really good shots. Mainly choosing the leg side and playing very nicely indeed to get a little bit of a stand together. Wasn't quite enough. This is the stand between Sonny and Adil that took them all the way. Some fine drives. Clever shot down through that vacant third man region. But you'll notice the bowling wasn't quite right with that line. That was the most important thing, I think. It was either too much width at times or sliding down the leg side a little bit. They could just pick off and pick up runs, and that was the winning run to get them home, the Phillies United team. And 2 points to them, which is really important in the first game. Right, let's have a look at the match summary of match number 1 of the USPL. The Chicago Patriots 175 for 9. At one stage looked like they might get 165. But Nitish Kumar played really nicely with 53 off 35, and Justin 4 for 45. Rakeem 3 for 25 from his work as well. So the captain bowling some pretty clever off spin, so that was tidy stuff. And Shadley played nicely, I thought, with that 37 not out of 19 deliveries, and just facing a dozen balls for Jamar for his 22. And United in reply, 176 for 4, getting up just in time. Saad superb with 69 off 32. LaRue 1 for 21. Mark 1 for 24. Shadley van Schalkwyk 1 for 25, and Ali 1 for 30. So as I mentioned before, just not enough wickets. If you compare the wickets column between the Phillies United and also the Chicago Patriots, that was a big difference between the two teams as well. But star performer was Saad, with Kumar played Lily LaRue 30. The end is the figure start campaign. Now we've got 3 games, of course, that are going on today. We've got 3 games, triple headers for almost all the days. So there's lots of cricket that is going to be played in the United States Premier League season 2023. And up next is match number 2. It's the Maryland Mavericks versus the Carolina Eagles. Of course, we're coming to you live from the Broward County Stadium in Florida, which is bathed in sunshine at the moment, so that's good news. So match number 2 is not too far away. Very keen to get up and pick up a couple of points in that outing. There they are, just warming up now. Good to see the boys out there and ready to go. There's not too much time between actually these games. The games are back to back. There's only a short little break, so you've got to make sure you get out there and get prepared with your warm-ups and your drills, and also, of course, the ground stuff. They've got to make sure the playing surface is nicely organised, so they get the roller out. It is a good pitch here. It was a little bit on the slow side earlier today. It will be a little bit quicker now with the bit of sun that we have had, and also a bit of wind as well, as we look to go into match number 2. But you'll still see plenty of variation when it comes to the pace bowlers, and also in particular the spinners. They'll be showing all their wares, which is always exciting on a track that's offering just a little bit of incentive. And there it is, bathed in sunshine. That's the ground we're playing at. And we've got so much cricket that we're going to be having over the next 8 days after this one. And we've got game 2 coming up pretty soon.